Hello everyone, welcome back to another stream. We are just picking up here, I'm just trying to... Oh, there we go. We're trying to make sure that everything was good there. YouTube's like, wait, you're streaming again? So, hopefully, we can send out the links and everything and get this all done. And then we should be good to go. So just give me a moment. Let's try... Gonna post this in... I'm just reading a suggestion there that somebody had posted, and it was a really weird one. I don't quite get it. I'll have to check that out later on. Ooh. Just making sure everything's good here, just finishing off, and then away we go. It says Ruins upgrades 2, but it's actually Ruins upgrades 3. So. Hello! I'll post this in Discord for you, says David. No, it's good, it's good. I put it in the Immersiontale part, although I don't know whether anybody wants to put it in the main menu bit, but hello everyone. So we got Ryden, we got Sammy, we got Damon. I'm just setting up. I was just getting myself a nice drink. What you're actually going to see is different to what I'm seeing, which is good because I'm doing the actual detailing. We seem to have a perfect schedule. You just started as I got settled down at home, says Sammy. I mean, I like doing them at this time because it's convenient at the moment, but yeah, it's all good, you know. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to be detailing stuff. Daily streams? Yeah, the idea is I just want to get as much done as I can for this next update. You guys are actually going to be seeing it different to me at the moment. I'm just going to check to see whether this works. Yes, it does. Okay, so I'll explain what you're seeing and what you're not seeing. Because there's a huge sleight of hand going on here at the moment, which might not seem fair until I explain it. So sleight of hand is, for those who don't know, is a trick where essentially you do something to make somebody see something that isn't there, or just to trick people. And it sounds terrible when I explain it like that, because I'm normally bad with my wording. But what I mean is, at the moment you're seeing an overhead shot of the ruins, right? And you're seeing my mouse move around and everything else. What you're not seeing is me actually doing the detail work. Hey, memes! So yeah, what you're seeing is me moving stuff around and clicking on things and scaling stuff up. So technically you are seeing me do the work, but what you're not seeing is all the detail work that I'm doing, which is the important bit, you know. So you are and aren't seeing the update, which is the best way of describing it. It means that I can get away with doing work, and you can get away with seeing stuff done, technically, but I can actually do the proper detailing on stream and actually see it without having to worry about anybody else getting spoiled. Misdirection. Yeah, it's kind of like misdirection. Essentially, what I'm doing is I'm just doing the really cool detailing stuff where I actually get to mess around with the lighting and look at all the details and place textures correctly. And you're seeing that, but just from up above. But you're not seeing like all of the textures, and it's not spoiling any of the updates. And I can just be like, oh, okay, this needs tweaking or whatever. Meanwhile, you guys can actually interact with me still. So it's win-win for everybody. And at the end of the day, you will eventually get to see the update, which will be very nice too. Show off to everybody and be like, so, this update, right? Been working on a new watermark for our digital art, says Sammy. I still can't choose between Sammy like the profile character you see on my DeviantArt channel profile, says Sammy. Whatever you think suits better. What I need to do after this as well is tomorrow, it's Wednesday, right? yeah, tomorrow I've got a meeting, like a proper meeting. It sounds really crazy when I think about it, but I have to schedule meetings with the voice actors and voice actresses just so that, you know, we can get everything done properly and do recordings properly. So I can give like comments or whatever else, or just direction. So I've got a meeting tomorrow with Flowey and Asriel's voice actor, Rogue. And we're going to go through some extra lines there to do with, I think it's Snowdon and Waterfall next. So that's going to be pretty cool. I've just been talking to some of the other talent and just saying like, look, I'm sorry if it seems like I've not been keeping tabs on everything at the moment. It's more just because of how crazy I am, you know, in terms of getting these details at the moment. I'm just so far gone in terms of trying to get these details done. So I'm sorry if I've let things slide a little bit. So a lot of catching up to do and meetings with people and making sure stuff is done correctly. Damon says, gonna jump on VR chat. Yeah, I can say I'm addicted. Thanks, Dave. I mean, as long as you're enjoying it, you know. Can I do Papyrus voice as Car Undertale? Unfortunately, no. Reprosity is doing Papyrus's voice. And Papyrus has a lot of work. I keep joking about that with people because I don't think people quite understand how much work is involved with this. And we'll go through it in a little bit. But yeah, meetings are pretty cool, and it's awesome just to get to talk to people again and do the lines and stuff and catch up. So let's see, what headset do you think I should buy if I'm getting into VR? Says Fan 2000. You can still get the Quest 2 headset. It's still worth it. People on VR chat will be like, oh, you're a Questie. But the thing is, if your computer is strong enough, then you can run PC VR games with a Quest 2, which is a pretty cheap option at this point. Like, the Quest 2 has dropped in price because of the Quest 3 coming out, and the Quest 3 is like, what, $500 or something? So they've dropped it to, I think it's like $299 or whatever, and here in the UK they dropped it by 100 British pounds, which is about the same. So if anyone wants to get into VR and wants to get into VR chat and stuff, either just for the events or wants to, you know, interact with us in VR or wants to experience VR in a cheap way and then get into a load of PC VR games, as long as your computer is strong enough, you can just run a wire from the Quest 2 into the PC and then just do Steam VR and do it that way. It's really good. The Quest 2 can be modified to be better in that you can get like different additional things for the headset. Like you can get different face plates, you can get different controller grips and things like that. They cost extra money, of course, but they really do make the overall experience a little bit cooler. Like when I got mine, obviously I got it expressly with the whole idea of using it for mocap in the project, but when I'm using it, I've got like different controller grips, I've got a different faceplate on, I've got added vents in the faceplate that allow me to not like fog up as much. Honestly, it's really cool. And this is coming from somebody who was not into VR originally because of having VR sickness, so it kind of shows you how things can change when you get over that. Hello everyone that's coming in, hope you're enjoying. As stated at the beginning of the stream, you won't be seeing everything in proper detail like I am, but I will at least be able to talk to you guys and tell you what's going on, and you can talk to me about stuff while I'm doing all of this. So it's not a total loss for everybody. Trying to place these mushrooms around just so they look natural. Do you have all the voice actors? So, basically, for the voice actors, we still need some of the other characters doing, but it's like very minor roles at the moment. Like, I want to get Fish Receptionist's model, but I can't find that yet. Same with like Catty. I've got a hand receptionist done. That's a female role, so I need that done. But we've got all the other major roles apart from Dogamy and Doggeressa, which are the two dogs, like the dog couple that you see in Snowden. Still need to get them done. Is an ice cream guy taken? Yes. We got quite a lot of the other characters done. If you watched the previous stream, you'll have seen the list of characters and the lines that have been sent off. A lot of those other characters have been done already. As in, like, all the lines have been recorded and stuff, so it's really cool. Oh. Dude, this is looking nice so far. Right, so I need that there. So what I'm doing here is I'm making the ruins look really cool. For those who've seen the previous streams, you'll know that I'm just, like, hanging moss everywhere and vines and stuff, and it's actually going really well to making the ruins look very old and not used, you know, to make them actually look like ruins. So it's cool, and I'm just going through that process now. What you're seeing on screen is me selecting the vines and stuff, and then I'm grabbing them and placing them in different areas. Again, this is all spoiler-free for the time being. I'm constantly hitting save here on the other window, but you're not seeing the detailed version. You're just seeing the above view for the time being, which I know might annoy some people. And honestly, it's not my intention to annoy everyone. It's more just the whole thing of it saves everything for the preview so that you guys get a much bigger sort of surprise than me showing stuff off and then being like, oh, so anyway, this is more or less what it's going to look like for the update. You know, it's no fun if I do that, so... Yeah, we've got Sans, Papyrus, and Flowey covered. So, Sans is being done by Lofi, who's really, really good. Revtrosity is doing Papyrus. For those who don't know, Rev, if you search up stuff like stuff said as Flowey, or stuff talking like Papyrus or whatever, you'll find Rev. He's awesome. And we got Rev doing Papyrus. And then for Flowey, we have Rogue, or just Rogue, who's really good as both of them. There's like Asriel and Flowey. The thing with, like I was saying though, about like different characters, especially for like, with people saying, oh wow, you got Rev. It's like, yeah, we were really lucky to have Rev offer his talent to the project. Like, incredibly lucky. The thing is, it's like, when you think about how many lines Rev has to do, it's pretty nuts. It's a lot of work, so he's slowly building himself up and getting all of the lines done a little bit at a time, which I don't blame him because it's so much. Like, we've talked in previous streams that, like, Papyrus has so many lines when you actually look at all of the game's, like, dialogue. And then on top of that, then you have Alphys, who has the second amount of lines, you know, in terms of, like, how many they have to record. So both Papyrus and Alphys's voice actors are a little bit, you know, it's sort of like, whoa, we have to do this many lines? It's like, yeah, sorry about that. So it's just a case of getting them done slowly. Like, you take it all for granted until you actually start producing something like this, and then it's like, holy crap. No, because there's so many lines. I need to move that there. Let's see, Kid Azzy and Hyperdeath Azzy, yes. What I'm doing here is I'm just putting a lot of moss on the walls at the moment. All these textures work really well. Let's just check what this looks like. Hey, what I'm doing is I'm doing like this low lighting condition. So it's pretty dark, which makes it look very mysterious and stuff. Then I'm lightening it up just a little bit here and there and giving it just enough atmosphere. But again, if you're familiar with some of the other streams, then you'll know exactly what I'm on about. If not, then essentially what it is just making everything look a little bit more like you'd imagine. And then the idea is that as the story and the adventure goes on, that's when everything starts getting brighter as we reach the surface, which makes sense. You know. Hey Sammy, guess who's joining me for... Sammy says, hey Dave, guess who's joining me for the stream? The cat! This is crazy. Well, I don't want to spoil it for myself before I see it. I have one last question to Skyward. That's no problem. This way, by watching it like this, you're not actually spoiling it for yourself, you know. I'm just sat here with a latte because I needed it. Are you using actual OST or are you going to use remixes? For that, I was actually thinking about this the other day. I'm not sure at the moment. I wanted to use the actual OST. But what I'm thinking of now is potentially approaching some of the YouTubers that I know, like Nyx, who already do like remixes for the Undertale community. I might contact them and be like, look, are you interested in doing something for this? Putting your own spin on this for, you know, like the movie or whatever? Because I think that would be a much cooler choice. It's more the whole thing of, I've already said, like, I would love to get as many people involved in this as possible, just for the sake of saying, like, look, it's, you know, it's a massive project. It only makes sense that we get the people that are normally involved in this involved. You know, because Nyx has done work for, like, Glitch Tale, and then I think also done it for some other fan projects, and I think Underverse? I could be wrong. But yeah, it just makes sense to me to try and contact those types of people and be like, look, do you want in on this? You know, because it'd be pretty cool. Let's see, separate selection here. Having special music that's only an Immersiontale would be pretty awesome to Skyward. I also figure, like, for anyone who's been listening the past couple of days, you'll know that I'm having trouble with copyright already for Toby's official music, because the company that copyrights the stuff for Toby, just no matter what, even though Toby said, look, put claims in for it, it still gets copyright struck the entire time, and it's just annoying having to go through the process over and over and over. So what I'm thinking of is, I'd honestly rather, if it's gonna go to anyone, I'd rather pay Toby directly, or just get like Nyx or somebody to do the music, because then at least they're benefiting from it, you know. But yeah, it'd be so cool. It's like other ideas I had was getting, and I've still got to go through with this and see if I can actually get it to work, is getting some of the other bigger YouTubers that cover Undertale to do some of the voices for the Echo Flowers. Nyx the Shield, yes. That's who I was on about. But yeah, some of the other bigger YouTubers doing like voices for the Echo Flowers would be pretty cool as well. So for instance, I've tried contacting Dorked before, and Dorked has said, yeah, that's okay, provided they're not doing anything, or they're not busy. So I might try and go ahead and send them some stuff and be like, look, can you just try and record this and see what happens? I'm also thinking of contacting a couple of like other people. So it's going to be interesting to see whether I can get them involved as well, because I imagine them wanting to be part of this would be pretty cool, just to, you know, get everybody involved, because why not? It's just a neat idea, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right. I figure with everybody else already getting in on this and being like, yeah, let's try and make it the best we can, then I might as well go ahead and contact everybody that's, you know, already a massive fan and be like, look, let's just all work together on this thing, because it's going to be cool, you know. What I'm doing here that you don't actually see is I'm putting vines from like the ceiling and everything in the ruins. So cool. Damon says copyright sucks. Kind of wish people would understand that more people hear your music, that means potential buyers. This sounds absolutely epic, says Skyward. I mean, I'm trying to make it the best it can be. It's like, people have said already, like, dude, why do you go to such lengths And I'm like, why not? You know, I really love this game. I love that everybody's excited for this project. And it's just nice getting all this help. So why not, you know, spread the love around and see what we can make of it. Because I might be wrong about this, but I honestly think this is probably one of, if not the biggest projects I've seen from this community. And it's primarily just because of everybody, you know, trying to work on it, so. Revenge and Kara says, oh, Moody, I have to remind you of something after the stream. Okay, that's no problem. I hope I'm not forgetting anything from anybody, because, like, I occasionally will have the odd bit where I'm getting distracted and something will just slip my mind. I don't mean anything by it, obviously. I don't mean to be offensive. It's more the whole thing of just genuinely I get distracted so much by going between chat and ideas and a bunch of other things that it's just like, oh god, have I forgot something? Yeah, I forgot something? Oops. You know. I remember the waterfall from the trailer. You're getting voices for all the Echo Flowers. So cool. Yeah, I want to. Somebody mentioned that in one of the other streams where they were like, or in VR chat, where they were like, dude, you should get like Echo Flower, like people to voice the Echo Flowers. And I was like, that's a good idea, actually. Especially because they're just random monsters. It's like, yeah, I can do that. You know, that'd be pretty nice. That's why I'm like, okay, we can have all these like little cameos or nods to the community in it. You know, with like some of the other people on YouTube doing the voices and stuff, so that people can be like, oh, I recognize that voice. You know, it's just a neat little thing for people to watch and then be like, oh yeah, I like that. You know. You're human. It sounds that you're doing so much that you're forgetting things, says Damon. Yeah, I don't like getting distracted so much that I forget things. I'm here like, okay, I'm doing just like the levels or something at the moment, and then next minute I'm like, wait, I forgot something, oops. But again, I have said on previous streams I get easily distracted as well, so that might be part of it. Oh. Okay, so it's that way. Trying to match up this texture at the moment that I've got. It's gonna be, there we go. And then I can just cut that down. Ooh. So yeah, hopefully, with me doing stuff this way, you guys won't be getting any spoilers, but you will be seeing progress in like the form of little lines being selected and then moved around and stuff from above. Ooh. Are you animating smaller fights like Frog It? Yes, I'm animating the smaller fights as well. I want to try and do as many of the smaller encounters as possible and make it, you know, the idea is to show off as much of the underground and as much of the journey as possible while also not showing every single footstep. The way that I'd describe it is, it's almost like you've got to have this balancing act between what you know is entertaining and what people will enjoy watching, and also people just being like, nah, we don't have to see every single footstep, man. What are you doing? You know? So it's an interesting balancing act in terms of getting that just right, so you keep people entertained and you give them something new that they've never seen before, while also not showing every single footstep and it dragging on for like hours on end with people going, dude, I'm just sat here watching Frisk walk for like 5 minutes. What? You know? Remember to do Shiren. I do have Shiren. The voices in my head, I recognize them well, says John. God damn it, John. So yeah, we do have Shiren. I've done a preview for her in the animation update video. If you've not seen that, it's easily searchable on the channel, or I can just get it now. I'll get it now just to be nice. But yeah, Shiren was in that, as in like we showed off a preview of her and was just like, yeah, check it out. She's really cool. I'll get that now. Let's see. The funny thing is, I need to actually go back and do content as well at some point for my actual channel that's not just Undertale, because I feel like I'm alienating most of my my main viewer base. But it's all good, it's no big deal. Okay, there we go. Let's grab that. There we go. So that's the animation update video. YouTube only lets me post links because of me hosting the stream. Excuse me, I'm drinking on stream again. But yeah, it's all good. Right, let's grab this here. What I'm trying to do is just cover most of the ruins in foliage and vines. Because it just works, it makes so much sense. Next movie, Deltarune. Deltarune's not even finished yet. Toby's not even done. Everybody's been joking about this already with me saying like, dude, you're gonna do Deltarune next. I'm like, Toby's not even done with it yet, what? All 7 chapters, jeez. The thing is, it's like I've said before, I can only really do this project because people have made these models, because you've seen me make some of the models, but not all of them. You know, the only reason I can do something like this is because I've technically had help in the form of other members of the community making these models and me having access to them or finding people that have those models. Without that, I wouldn't be able to do it, you know, so it's just like, I don't think I'll be able to do it with Deltarune unless somebody literally makes every single model out of Deltarune and then makes them accessible to the public. You know. Dude, I am making this room so overgrown at the moment. Ooh. The thing I'm doing with the ruins here is I'm trying to make them look greener than we see, because them being overgrown with like years of vines climbing up the walls and like ivy and moss and stuff, it just looks so cool. It just adds so much to the atmosphere, so it's neat seeing like the brickwork and having like vines coming down it. I have an idea, it might be hard, but you should try and get my man Toby Fox to help. Oh god, imagine getting Toby in on this. Have Toby voice the annoying dog and just have the dog just do nothing but bark. You're trying to make them more ruiny. So the best way I can describe it is, if you see what's on screen at the moment, the overhead shot, like the map, and then you've got my wireframe, and occasionally you get to see my mouse moving around. On the sprites, you'll see the ruins aren't really that green. They're like the odd bits of greenery here and there to show that there's some sort of greenery in there to give the artwork a little bit of a break and split it up a little bit. But what I'm doing is I'm taking that and running with it and being like, you know what? These ruins are absolutely ancient by now. They have way more greenery. It's not too intense, but some areas are a little bit more green than as shown. But it works. Trust me when I say it works. I'm trying to copy some artwork that I saw the other day that I started out with. I did like what's called an art test. For those who don't know, an art test is generally where you are told to do something in a certain style. And the idea is, it's like, oh, you turn around and say, okay, so one of the rooms in the ruins, the art test for it is recreate it, but make it more realistic. You know, and we'll see what you come up with. And the whole idea is you use your imagination then to kind of fill in the gaps and see what happens. And I'm doing that with it at the moment, just be like, okay, my art test for this is literally just overgrowing everything and putting moss and weeds everywhere. If you got Toby himself in here, it would blow up so much. Indeed it would. The thing is, I feel like Toby probably wouldn't interact with this, but that's me just being me. You know, I'm being cautious and optimistic with this. So it's like, would Toby be in on this? Would he be interested? Would he even pay attention? No, everybody else is already excited for the possibility of that. It's like, dude, imagine if Toby got in on this. And I'm like, I absolutely love it, but I don't know what I would do. You know, I'd honestly just be so shocked. I'd be like, oh, hi, Toby. So yeah, nervous laughs all around if Toby came in here. But whoa, the boss man has arrived. Oh. What we're doing here is putting more moss on the floor. Fun times. Lots of moss all over the place. The thing is, it's like I've said before, with the lighting in this, I'm using the glowing mushrooms from, or the mushroom idea from Waterfall to make this all work. But to do that in the ruins, obviously we're going to have the mushrooms near foliage or near moss or water, because that's generally where you find them in real life. So I'm trying to match up everything so that it works here right now. So I'm only putting the lighting in like areas where there is moss growing, or growing a lot of moss around those areas, and then be like, so there we go, there's an area where I can put some lights. It looks so cool. Gathers more people, says Sammy. Oh, there we go, that looks really cool. So what I've done there is, because you can't see it, but I can describe it, I put a load of moss on the floor, and it was right next to like a giant wall of moss. Essentially the vines that you see going down the walls, I turned them, like a couple of them, into like giant walls of moss. And then at the bottom I made some of it go on the floor, and then put the mushrooms from the floor coming out of them. And it's so cool. It just looks so good, like combining certain elements together. Can I just move that? Okay, move that a little bit. It looks so dark in this room though, I might have to actually boost the lighting a little bit. They've been going all Exorcist on us for a second. Wait, what? Did my model just... Did my model just break or something? Oh, was it because of me drinking? Ooh. Yeah, it was. It was because I was drinking. I just noticed, because when I drink on stream, the camera always breaks my model. It's all right now. Yeah, it's actually a funny thing that happens. It's like my model just totally breaks on camera. Everybody be coming in and being like, dude, what's going on in here? You know, why are we seeing wireframe? Trust me when I say that progress, like really good progress, is being made. And when the next update comes out, you'll actually get to see what I was on about. But for the time being, I'm not spoiling anything, but I'm also getting work done at the same time. So I'm being a little bit cheeky. I'm being cheeky in the sense where I'm like, I know you guys can't see this, so I can at least describe it, but, you know, here's what's going on. Okay, there we go. That should do. Seeing all this come together in these rooms as the, like, totally changing it, like, overgrown with vines and stuff is really cool. And I also need to import rocks into this scene so I can have the floor not look absolutely pristine. Okay, so I need, in this corner, more moss. The cool thing about this is, because the moss is all, or rather all of the foliage is done using 2D textures on planes with alpha maps, or basically transparency, where I can just place as much as I want or as little as I want everywhere, and it will not affect performance. So it's a really, really good way of doing this. For that one, I might even make a corner piece. Let's see about doing that. The thing is, I try and not go all technological on people, you know, like turning around and explaining exactly how everything works. Because I figure people get bored with that kind of thing now. I've noticed a lot of people just turn off when I start explaining everything. So it's like, okay, I'll just go on about the cool stuff. You know, it's all good. Maybe I'll do like separate videos explaining the technology behind stuff, or just how it all works. Because I know there are at least a little bit of the audience that do enjoy that. But there is a massive amount of the audience that's just like, Dave, show me the cool things. And I'm like, okay. people's eyes cloud over. I've noticed, if you, Damon, you were at the event, so you'll know this more than anybody, but like for anybody who was at the previous event, you'll know the parts where I was actually explaining like the interesting stuff. It's almost like everybody just switched off for a moment until they saw the cool stuff and just went, oh, cool stuff, you know, and just sat there like, oh, you know, so it was funny. It was funny, but it was a little bit like, oh, because I really do enjoy going into like the tech side of stuff and enjoy showing my knowledge when it comes to this kind of stuff, but show me the moss, says Skyward. Wonder if I can actually do that. Just give me a sec. So if we go over here, Chris, get the banana, says Sammy. So we're gonna go over here and I'll show the moss off. There we go. What we've got here is small vines, long vine, the moss, another bit of moss, and then some like top moss that goes in like corners and other stuff. But yeah, I'm using all of this in like different ways to make it all look really good. Like this just takes up an entire wall vertically, and then you can just put like mushrooms growing out of it. Most people aren't interested in the tech stuff, says Damon. I think it's the whole thing of, like, obviously, people have different interests. That's just a general sort of thing that you really can't expect people to like the same stuff. But it's definitely, when you try to do like an update, you think, oh, I'll tell you exactly in the update what's going on, so you know, like, the troubles I'm going through and, you know, like, why I'm going through it, so at least you know if there's any issues or something, exactly why. And yeah, people just like, no, we don't care, just show us the shiny things. You know, just show us the character animation or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine, that's fine. Now, it's no offense to those people. We're all good. I just find it funny is all. I can't blame them though. It's like they come for a cool update and instead they do not want to lecture about how 3D works. You know, so if that was me thinking about it, I'd be like, yeah, nah, man, just skip all this crap and just get to the good stuff. I did not come to get a half-hour lecture on how 3D works and how all the textures and materials work together to give you a really nice-looking, detailed version of the underground. That's not me being offensive to the people that, you know, attend, of course. It's a funny observation. I realized that when I used to watch how it's made on TV, my family's eyes would cloud over, they would shut off or walk out the room, says Damon. Yeah, it's all good. Like, I'm just happy that some people find it interesting, you know. No, it's not for everybody. But for those who you know, enjoy it, it's all good. For everyone else, they get to enjoy the other bits where everything looks super awesome. Okay, let's place some more moss here. All this moss, man. Like, there's so much moss in this area now, but it's worth it. Ooh, come on now. Yeah, I hope I don't oversleep for the meeting tomorrow, because it's really important. So, because I keep on staying up till God knows when to get all this stuff done. And it's like, dude, I just need to wake up for these meetings. Oh. Let's move this here. Oh, come on now. Dude, I'm being stupid here. Okay. Are you going to take any creative liberties, or are you making it exactly like the game? I want to try and make it as close to the game as possible, but there are going to be some interesting changes, or at least I want there to be some interesting changes. There's already the inclusion of the player character, which is totally different because normally the player is not seen in game. And on top of that, for New Home and stuff, I really want to go more into the emotional side of things, reaching New Home. So by that, what I mean is like actually showing like a little bit of memories from the past. So like, I got the idea from a piece of artwork that I saw where Frisk is walking through New Home, obviously to go and fight Asgore at the end of the game. And as they're going through New Home, there's like memories that Kara is bringing up, where it's Kara and Asriel playing in the living room with Toriel and Asgore watching them. And I was thinking, oh my god, that is so heart-wrenching, but at the same time, it's so good. I was like, I need to do something like that, you know, so something like that would be really nice to include, just to be a little bit different. I was thinking about this before when I was listening to like different Undertale covers, and I was like, yeah, I really want to try and include all of the key moments and then some heart-wrenching ones and some funny ones and just try and hit all of the same beats, you know. This is looking awesome. Sadly, my ADHD is telling me it's time to do something else. It's okay, Skyward. Thank you for at least being around with us to talk to us. It's all good. Yeah, hitting all of the right beats in terms of like emotional tone and stuff is going to be so cool to get right. Because everybody immediately thinks of Undertale as the funny the game with the funny skeleton in, and it's just like, no, it's actually pretty dark and depressing at points, you know. A new member of the server, my server has joined. Yippee, Sammy. Farewell, fellow Undertale addicts. Perhaps I will return, says Skyward. Thank you very much, Skyward. Hope you enjoy your day. So we're gonna put more moss on the tops of these bricks now. Oh. The funny thing is trying to keep continuity between not just the lighting here, but also foliage. So if I do foliage in one file, I've then got to match it in another. So it's pretty crazy trying to get everything just matched up correctly. Oh, no. What did I do then? There we go. I need to mirror that on the x-axis. There we go. And then I can cut that up and take that section and go to the side with it. So if we go like, cut this, cut there. I can then take that and separate that selection. It allows me to then make that look as though it's bent. There we go. A lot of cute indie games, just like a lot of cute indie games, says Damon, it's actually super depressing and sad. It's like when you know the full story, it really does hit home. It's like there's one song that I'd love to play on stream, just to give you an idea of what I'm going for here. I got ideas for it recently, but I don't know whether I'm going to get copyrighted. I'll put it on Discord later. I know I've put it on I think it's the Immersiontale Discord. I put it in the music section there, because that's literally just the cast members and stuff. But it's a really sort of like sad one. It's a fan cover of, I think, his theme, which is Asriel's theme, and it's really sad. And it just sounds like the end credits for like a film, and I'm sat there thinking, you know what, I've got to do that. If I can, I'll try seeing if I can get hold of the permission to use that and then use it as like part of the end credits. And then obviously, like I was saying the other day, turn the actual game's credits into 3D and have them be the end as well. Because not everything is all happy, joy, you know, at the very end for all the characters. Because for those who obviously know Undertale, it's the whole thing of at the end, the two people that don't really get closure are Asriel and Frisk. No, sorry, Asriel and Frisk. Asriel and Kara. Because they don't really get closure. Not properly anyway. It's the whole thing of they don't get to go to the surface and enjoy everything with everybody else for obvious reasons. Which is incredibly sad. Ooh. I'm glad we're not doing genocide runs either, because that would be really sad. I think that's probably one of the most requested things I've got as well so far, is people being like, dude, are you going to do genocide run? It's like, are you kidding me? I don't think I could, literally after doing the True Pacifist run, I don't think I could do a genocide run, especially as an animation, because it would just make me be really heartless. You know. I need to continue playing, but I don't have time until next week, says Damon. And I have a week off work. I'll beat it today again. A bunch of new kids are coming next week. Ooh. Trust me when I say it's worth completing. It's definitely worth completing all the way through and experiencing it. And of course, if you've already got attached to some of the characters, then that's what makes it even more interesting. So say, for instance, if you already have a favorite character, or if you already like some of the characters, then it hits home. Ooh, no, that's not going to work, because if I do that there... Actually, no, that might be able to be... That might be able to be used. Can I do that there? There we go. So many circles on screen. So what this is a lot of mushrooms and vines and everything else. It's pretty nuts. Like, I'm going all in on making this look pretty overgrown. And it looks so nice on screen right now. I need, like, at least one small mushroom, though, because I'm looking at this and it's doing my head in, because part of this is, like, lit up, but part of it isn't. Ooh. Dude, where the heck is... Oh, there it is. Right, I'm gonna put a mushroom in the actual wall. Or just, like, up above so I can light this area up, because it's annoying me. Revenge and Kara says, I won against my friend in chess. Nice. Well done. Hope it was a good game. Literally not played chess in, like, years. Okay, so let's try... Which one was that one? That one should be the right one. Yes, it is. Take this light. Bring it over. And put it up here. Oh, dude, that is nuts. Actually, it looks really nice. Can I get some, like, ambient there? Where's the ambient light that I've got? There it is. Duplicate that. Oh, heck yeah. That actually made the room a little bit brighter as well. Although, if I move that slightly down, does it look better on the floor or what? maybe about there? Trying to choose areas where the lights are going to look good is pretty hard. Okay. This room's looking pretty nice at the moment. I just need to finish off a couple of details and then we're good. And then I can move on to the water room. $120 there, maybe? 140? At the moment, I'm trying to brighten up a room just a little bit, but because it's got shadows in it as well, it's pretty hard. Let's see if it's actually doing it. Yeah, it is. 500 there, though? Let's try 1,000. Has that actually generated lens flare? It looks like it has. What? Okay, that might break things a little bit. At least I know it works, though. So we'll do, like, 100. And we'll do 100 from there, too. This is the same room that's going to have Whimsum and Frogget in it. I need it to be slightly brighter, at least, so... Has that got... No, it doesn't. I need another ambient light in here to go... Oh, no, wait. Is that one? 60, 100 it needs to be. Okay, that's better. Okay, so what I'm doing here is placing more moss on the floor, and then we're into like the next areas. I think I just need to maybe also look at doing some vines hanging off the roof I've done in previous areas. See how that looks, because some of this is going to be seen by players. I want as much stuff to be seen by viewers. I was going to say players then. It was like, dude, I'm not making a game. Okay, there we go. That room looks good now, so I just need to add some, like, vines coming from the roof, which I'm going to need more moss for. It's like, this might as well just be called Dave Places Moss for an hour. Because it's what it is at the moment. I only done one room as well. Because of how much detail I'm going into with the overgrowing moss. Let's try putting it there. Then put that at 90 degrees. Minus 90. Hey, there we go. That looks okay. Wouldn't that amount cause hit to your frames? No. The way that frame rate is normally affected is by shader complexity or polygon count, or if the textures are absolutely massive. It can be a mix, but the biggest offender by far normally in video games is polygon count. Normally, what happens is you have a video game and it will not be optimized. So say, for instance, they will not add what's called level of detail models. Essentially, what they do or they used to do more in older video games, but to give the impression that stuff was still the same amount of detail or was still on screen but would save on your frame rate, was as you get further away from something, the detail on the model would drop just a little bit, so everything would start looking a little bit more blocky. And sometimes you wouldn't notice it, sometimes you would. And they've continued that in games at the moment where level of detail, when you get to a certain distance, the model will not need like the super high detail textures or all of the same polygons. So what they do is they take the model and they essentially just cut it in half in terms of the way that it looks. They lower the quality a little bit, and the further you get away, the worse the quality gets. And that's supposed to keep your frame rate pretty consistent. But it can also be affected by, like, say, for instance, a texture file is an absolute massive file size, and you have so many of those on screen that are all, like, really high detail textures. That can affect frame rate as well, which is normally why certain games don't go over, say, a certain size, because genuinely, like, some smaller items you do not want detailed the same way that you'd have, say, like something that's going to be in your face all the time. So it's a little bit of trickery to try and get that balance between what stuff is important on screen at a certain point in time and what you actually can just get away with looking like melted ice cream. You know, it's a funny balancing game to do. But when it's done right and it's done effectively, you can get games looking fantastic for like 99.9% of the runtime and being very optimized and running smoothly. And people will not notice that there's that 1 or 2 frames or little bits here and there where everything literally looks like melted ice cream. Oh, let's just put this here. Trying to mix up some of these other Vine textures I've got now to break up some of the repeating patterns that I've got here and also give everything a little bit of a cooler, more natural look to it. I flip. The cool thing is, just by flipping certain textures, you can get some interesting looking things here, so it's not all bad. Oh, dude, this looks so good right now. At the same time, Bethesda games hide everything under the map. The thing is, it's like, another trick for video games is called occlusion. What that means is it's supposed to be a case of if you do not see it on screen, it's not meant to render or be rendered by the game, so it shouldn't be using memory to render that. But some games, for some reason, just love not working properly like that, and then as a result, you don't have things occluding. You know. Sammy says, I've started running out of things to say. It's all good. Talk to me about Undertale or Deltarune. I don't mind that. If you want to find some other things to talk about. Be good getting this part of the ruins done tonight, because I want to try and get a certain segment of the ruins done each night. If I get this done tonight and then it's like another one done another night, that won't be too bad in terms of time spent. Oh, let's try. Who's your favorite Deltarune character? Oh, Ralsei or Javel? Ralsei or Javel at the moment? Closely followed by Lancer. Damon says, I got some of those new SD kits that were just released. Which SD kits? I love Queens as Sammy. I love how Queen is essentially just a massive troll. I just realized I also like Birdly. I've mentioned Birdly a bunch of times. I've been like, Birdly gets no love. There is no love for Birdly. Instead, he just got called an incel by the entire fandom when he was first introduced. It's like, oh, come on. Doing my boy dirty. He doesn't mean any harm. She's a flashy supervillain who's just a goober on the inside, says Sammy. Queen's just funny. Really funny. Oh. Plus, I love the Power Rangers boss fight with her. And it is a Power Rangers mecha-style boss fight with her. Ooh, there we go. Let's try and lower the detail on this just a little bit. Or rather, make it just not so obvious that I'm mirroring the same thing a bunch of times. That was my extra dangerous glass, one of my favorite moments of Sammy. MG SD Freedom and one of the older SD kits from a few years ago. Oh, you got the MG SD. I got that myself, but I need to put that together, obviously, what I'm going to do is, once I've done this project, I'm going to take a massive amount of time just to catch up on, like, kits and other things and stuff. It's going to be fun. But of course, obviously, when the baby's older as well. Ooh. So yeah, I've got a lot of stuff waiting for me that's going to be fun to piece together, and then everybody will be like, dude, that kid's ancient by the time we get around to it. Oh, this room is practically done now, apart from the odd, like, little bit of stone that I can put on, like, the floor. Unless I decide I want to do a little bit more intense lighting around the area, it's not too bad. So I might throw, like, a little mushroom here and there. Try doing that at 90 degrees. I mean, only if you want it, man. As you were saying to me, you gotta know when to stop. No, that's what I mean. I've got the kit, you know. I've got the kit. I've had it in storage for ages. It's just a case of actually getting around to doing it. But yeah, the advice still stands for just collecting in general, is you gotta know when to stop, and you have to be happy with stopping, you know. So it's like with me, the last kit I'm actually still waiting for is the P-Bandai Death Scythe Hell. And it's like, once I get that, that's it. All the kits that I've ordered over the years are done. I'm obviously not gonna get any more. That's the last one, so Sammy says, I rose an unactive DeviantArt channel from the dead, laughing my ass off. Been too long since I've seen them. Let's stick a few of these mushrooms on the roof here. Because mushrooms can grow anywhere, so it's just cool seeing them in some, like, unique areas and just be like, oh, interesting. Especially because they light up the area so much. I'm just going to match all the the lighting, well, the character lighting to them later on. It's not that you don't want to waste your money, Damon. It's like, I figure... I did use DeviantArt for a while. I go on it occasionally, every so often. Thing is, I tend to have long periods of just inactivity on it, so I need to jump back on it and post some Immersiontale updates, but I'll do that eventually. Because I'm using it more like a promotional thing at the moment to get the word out more and reach more people. Dude, I have really gone crazy with the mushrooms in this area, but not in a, oh my god, he's overdone it kind of way. More of a, oh, that looks cool kind of way. Let's do this again. I'm gonna do a copy and paste on some of these mushroom formations here, just so that it just works. Yeah, the thing is, like with collecting, you want to know when to stop, but it's the whole deal with buying stuff is you do it to keep yourself entertained. The one thing you don't want to start doing is just buying stuff for the sake of buying stuff. It's like the best way of going about purchasing like kits and things is saying to yourself, am I purchasing this because a reviewer has convinced me that it's good? Or do I genuinely want this sat on my shelf? Because I actually went through that for a little bit where reviewers were like, dude, this kit, man, the technology behind it, the way that it works and everything, the articulation and the overall model quality, so good. And I'm sat there thinking, oh yeah, that's cool, I'll get into that. And then next minute I'm like, I didn't really need that kit, you know? So... Damon says, so I don't think you can overdo it because nature is chaos. True, true. I'm definitely going more into the whole thing of like, I started collecting just everything that I wanted to collect. Primarily because I was just like, dude, I'm interested in this stuff. It looks pretty cool. It's like, for instance, the whole thing with, as an example, the Aliens pulse rifle that I have from James Cameron's Aliens. The reason why I got that is not only because, you know, I absolutely love Aliens, but it's also because I knew I probably wasn't going to get another prop replica like that price. You know, and I'm like, dude, I can't skip out on this, especially considering Adam Savage from Tested literally came on and was like, oh yeah, I got one of these, they're really cool, everybody should get one. And the next minute they were basically sold out, and secondhand ones now go for ridiculous prices. Because I remember mentioning that on stream and being like, oh no. And then I mentioned it to the wife, and the wife was like, yeah, you better get one if you want one, because otherwise, thanks to Adam, those are going to be gone. And I was like, oh no. It's stuff like that where it's like, you really have to want something. And it has to be a conscious decision where you're like, yeah, this won't take up too much space, or I've got space for it. It's not going to look like a mess. I definitely want this, and it's not going to be an instant regret purchase when you get it, you know. It's definitely interesting, but there's more to buying things than just going out and being like, oh yeah, I want to get this, you know. I feel like you got to play it safe, especially nowadays where everything costs more, but it seems like you're kind of getting less. And the reason why I say that is a perfect example for that would be either Warhammer 40k, Lego, or Transformers. And the reason I say it for the Transformers one is because with Transformers, it seems like the overall quality has dropped, but the articulation and the molds have gone better. So it's weird. It's weird. It's like the plastic quality has dropped. They don't use metal anymore, which hasn't been a thing since like the 90s, I think, or something. But it's just weird, man. You know. Sammy says, if there was a way to send a mass invite to my Discord channel in If only there was a way to send a mass invite to my Discord channel in DeviantArt. Something really strange is going on my Discord is this one person in the server, their name is active, but I've never seen them type once. Maybe they just come in to lurk and see what's going on, because I've known a couple of people that have done that and then just like vanished. Damon says, if a burglar saw you coming at them with a pulse rifle, I'm sure they'd crap themselves. Oh, not a Nerf one. Maybe if it was a proper, like, Tommy gun converted into one, then maybe, but it would be funny. Let's take this here, we'll just duplicate this. Doo-doo. You can just flip this around. We'll mirror it on the y-axis. There we go. You can have a load more mushrooms around here. There's just so many mushrooms. The entire ruins is basically a bunch of like mushrooms and moss everywhere. I just find it weird because I know them all from DeviantArt. I don't know the DeviantArt names to send me. Sometimes you will just get random people coming in. That's the weird thing about Discord. Like, you won't know them and somebody else will have invited them or whatever. But they're just there and it's just like, okay, yeah. You're talking about the white and orange Nerf pulse rifle? Yes. I was going to buy one, but they were sold out, says Damon. Yeah, that was the one I was on about. Literally everybody and the mum bought one because of Adamon tested, being like, dude, they're so good. You know, they're basically prop quality, and then immediately everybody's ears picked up and we're just like, ooh, you mean we can get those and they're cheap? They're cheaper than the realistic ones that cost like at least 5 times the price? You know, it's the same deal with like the Transformers community where a lot of the most recent stuff that's come out, like Earthrise, War for Cybertron and stuff, the Studio series now are considered better than Masterpiece scale stuff because the Masterpiece stuff is way more expensive and has way more panel forming, whereas the stuff that is coming out in like the Studio series line and the Earthrise and afterwards line, like the Kingdom and stuff, the quality might be dropping a little bit. The overall like build quality, things might be snapping here and there, but overall the general consensus seems to be, yeah, these are basically like mini masterpieces, so what's the point in paying like 5 times the price for a masterpiece? Yeah. Hey Inky. Yeah, hey Inky. How you doing? Let's put that there. Inky, if you need to, I can explain stuff on screen, because it's going to look like I'm doing nothing when I actually am. I'm doing stuff. Dude, almost up to the spike room here. If you want, so what you're seeing in the top view there is the entire overview of the section of the ruins that I'm doing at the moment, which is reflected in the sprite work that's above that I'm using for reference. But the thing is, I wanted to also do these streams where I talk to people and I chill and do the actual work while not spoiling what I'm going to put out in the next update. So the idea is I'm more or less working in another open window that shows me all the details so I can do that work and get everything done and talk to people while everybody else still sees the work going on. It's not as interesting, but at least it doesn't spoil anything. If that makes any sense. 100 there. There. I'm gonna need to put another set of mushrooms here because of lighting. Oh no. So I've got a sign here. I just need to light it up. So I'm gonna need like a little mushroom near it or something. Imagine if you accidentally change the windows for a brief moment. That would give me a heart attack right now. Like, no joke. I'm making everything look overgrown and look nice and stuff, and then next minute I just switch it for a moment and be like, holy crap, I've just spoiled the entire update! You know. I'm like, no! Okay, so for this, I'm gonna need more. Dude, I could literally just put like, I put moss on the sign and then put the, oh, that'd be a really neat way of lighting up the sign. So what we do is, because I'm putting the lights everywhere there's mushrooms, right? And mushrooms tend to grow in like little cracks in other places. If I put some mushrooms growing near the sign, like out the top or whatever, and put some moss on the top of it, so it looks like they're growing out of there, technically I can light up the sign from above without really needing to do much. I would close my eyes, but you don't have to worry about me, says Sammy. It's all good, it's all good. I'm just thinking of interesting ways to do everything here at the moment, while also making it look as good as it can. It's funny because I actually sculpted the stone sign for the ruins. I took it into Blender and then just learned how to do sculpting in Blender at a very primitive level, and then baked the normal maps out. An immersive source of lighting. Yeah, the idea is like it should fit in with the world. So like, theming wise, I'm always cautious of like where I put lighting and stuff, because I don't want it to look super realistic. I want it to have that fancy aspect to it, but it's also just got to make sense, you know. Inky says, Blender can be annoying sometimes. Potentially. I need to get rid of my crash dumps, because whenever Blender crashes, it dumps a backup file. And I have like 3 gigs worth of backup files or something right now, so I need to get rid of them. This is going to be like Ori and the Blind Forest. I mean, I kind of want it to have that sort of like magical look to it, so it's going to be interesting. Ooh. The idea is, because it's the underground, obviously, nothing is going to be like super bright. It's going to be lit up realistically as you'd imagine. So you've got that like nice fantasy look, but at the same time, like imagine going through, I mentioned this previously on one of the other streams, imagine or go Google search the French catacombs, right? Because the catacombs that are under France at the moment are basically what I'm basing the ruins off. Because the ruins are also known as catacombs. Toriel says as much when she introduces you to them, where she's like, let's go through the catacombs. And then, obviously, you go through the ruins. But the idea is that catacombs in general are very claustrophobic. They're not really well lit. You know, so that's the kind of atmosphere I'm going for, while also making them look like they're being overtaken by moss and vines and things. It's almost as if they've been there for that long that the greenery around them is overtaking, and then when I get round to putting the stones in there as well that will dot around the floor and everything, it'll make it look as though they've fallen off the wall. And I don't need to do it a lot, but just enough will give the impression of this like really immersive and detailed environment without doing like every single brick as a new model or something, or modeling every single brick. You know, they're filled with cave crawlers, says Damon. But yeah, it's that whole thing of, I like the whole idea of trying to make it look very, not so much spooky, but look like a, sort of like it's straight out of a fantasy film, you know? I think the easiest way I could probably look and see how this is going is actually just like moving Toriel or Frisk or somebody through the ruins and seeing how the light affects them, because it'll give me an idea of how to balance the lighting later on as well. What character you want to have more screen time in Undertale? All of them. All of them. Like, all of the characters at the moment I want to have a lot more screen time when it comes to Immersiontale. It's like even Burger Pants, I want Burger Pants to be like outside smoking or something, or eating a burger or something when we first see him. A lot of people depict him as smoking, but I'm not keen on smoking in general anyway, with me being an asthmatic. So maybe just eating a burger out back and then going in and us seeing him inside an MTT resort would be pretty cool. You know, give him a bit more time on screen and really talk to him. Because the idea is I want all of his lines read off as well. So it's going to be cool listening to those line reads. And then sort of animating him and giving him way more screen time than you would normally see, especially if you don't speak to him. If you don't speak to him, then you don't get to see him. And don't get to see him doing his funny faces. I want to animate all of that, you know. It's going to be so cool. Ooh. Let's move these bits of moss. I'm getting Guillermo del Toro's Labyrinth vibes from your explanation, says Damon. Anything that Del Toro touches is brilliant. That's the thing. I really like Del Toro and his appreciation of practical effects. You know, it's so good. I absolutely love practical effects. And just he has a massive respect for them. Oh. Although then again, I think my my love of practical effects may be slightly biased, primarily because I grew up with a lot of films that used them, so it's just like, dude, oh, they're so good. Right, let's loop cut here. And then we'll just move that back. The idea is I want to try make this moss look as if it's overgrowing on this sign just a little bit, and then I can take that into Photoshop and do the text in Hylian, or Ancient Hylian, so it looks a little bit like Monsters text from the sprite work. Because if I can match that, then that would be really nice. Oh, there we go. I just grab that there and then I'll bevel this section, because then that allows me to get a nice curve on things. There we go. And I'll smooth that out as well. Hey, there we go. Now it looks like the mushrooms are growing out the moss. I think the most hated character in the game is So Sorry. I actually tried to get hold of So Sorry. I know the whole deal with him because of him being hated, because of his creator and stuff. It's like I tried getting a model of him from somebody that made one ages ago, but they apparently didn't have the model file anymore, so I don't have access to that, and thus unless I ask somebody for it and they try and model it, then I'm not going to have So Sorry, unfortunately. Because it would be cool to have So Sorry just randomly walking around in Hotland. You know. Del Toro is great when it comes to creepy art styles. Random question, doesn't have anything to do with anything. What's your opinion on garden gnomes, says Sammy? Honestly, it's like, I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent to them. It's one of those things where it's like, I'm not going to smack talk anyone that does like garden gnomes. It's just I don't find any point to them. Yeah. Oh, let's... Now I'm up to the passageway that goes into the spike room, you know, the water one. Where is it? Which file are we looking at? I'm over here where you guys are, right? I've detailed this room. The idea is I started off and I had to model all of this the last time and get it ready, right? That was the other day. Then I textured everything the other night. So what you guys aren't seeing here is all of this stuff was textured the other night, apart from like the water and stuff. and I placed some of the scenery. So what I've been doing on stream is placing moss, placing vines, placing new lights, because I did do a couple of lights before. And I've been slowly detailing all this environment, and I'm up to this hallway here at the moment. And it's a little bit dark. Like, round here is dark already, just a little bit. But this is pretty dark, so I need more greenery in it, so I'm gonna have to use a little bit more greenery on the ceiling and stuff. And then I figure when I come into here, I might actually have a hole in the roof again, because that'll help light up the area. It's either that or I give it the same lighting with mushrooms and stuff. Let's see. I'm just gonna answer chat now or read chat. I grew up with a lot of films with practical effects, says Damon. Guillermo del Toro always has been one of the best at blending CGI and practical effects. Hellboy is so good. My mum has a bunch of them. She wants to get another that flips you off, says Sammy. Inky says, there was a 3D model of So Sorry, but it was a commission from someone. See, that's the thing, like, I'd be totally down for asking people that did those, even like the commission ones, can I borrow them? You know, it's totally up to the person then, but it's the same with like Catty and stuff. I saw somebody going around with Catty before. I was trying to get hold of that model. I even found the original creator and messaged them, but I got no response from them. And it was one that I'd found on, I think it was Sketchfab. Yeah, where you can view models in 3D. They'd mentioned that they'd created it for VR chat, and I'm like, well, that's perfect, you know, because I'm already using some stuff from MMD and Source Filmmaker and DeviantArt, and I've got a couple of them that have been imported into VR chat now. So, you know, it'd be great. That was Crow, right? Let me have a look, right? Just give me a sec. I'm gonna search it up. Undertale Catty 3D model VR chat. I think it comes up. When you go on Sketchfab, the creator is Famicom Link. I'll post the model. I'll post the link to the model in chat. Boop. It's also the same with like other characters like Doggo. You know, the standard guard dog at the beginning of Snowden. I couldn't get hold of a good one of them either, because the only other one we've got is like a really low poly one that's very, very jagged. You know, so it's like I can't get hold of one, so... Oh, him. I had to ask him to make that as an idea, says Inky. Yeah, I'm more than happy to ask whoever I need to get these models. It's just a case of, like, having the trust there, you know? Especially if they've been commissioned, because obviously then people don't want those files just being, you know, thrown around all over the place so everybody can get them for free. Totally not what's happening, of course, you know, with me working so hard to build up all this trust and reputation while also doing the project. There's no way I'm betraying that by giving these models out. It's why I'm always careful when I mention, you know, like, anything that I would open source at the end of the project, where I've mentioned like, oh yeah, I'd be more than happy to give away some of these models, but if I've not personally modeled them, I'm not doing that, you know, because then that technically breaks that trust. So it's better if I just only distribute stuff that I've worked on. But that it's an example of stuff where it's like, I'm not giving out stuff that people have, other stuff that people have worked on and are trying to make money off. Instead, it's just like just building up that trust so that I can get this stuff, so I can finish the, you know, the film and get as many characters in that everybody likes as possible. That's the goal for me, without angering anyone, you know, without upsetting anyone. It's just crazy. Oh crap! Yep. No, wait. Oh, no. I just forgot I was working on the wrong one. No! At least it's not too bad. It's not the other version. Thanks, Damon. Oh my god. Oh. Breathe, Dave, breathe. Oh my god. I started working out of habit there. I'm just like, oh. Rip. No, it's fine. I didn't show off the lighting, right? I didn't show off all the lighting and how it's looking at the moment. I just showed off the base one with all the textures, right? Like, there was no me switching between lighting and everything. Like, you didn't get to see the full-on dark view. No lighting. Oh, that's good, that's good. That at least didn't spoil everything. Sadly, there's no 3D model for Bratty, says Inky. Yeah, there's no model for Bratty. I've seen somebody try and do the head model for her. It's like, I'd love to have people just model Cathy and Bratty so I could use them, but it's obviously hard getting people to, you know, contribute and, you know, not make money off things, because I understand people have got to spend time doing this, so they want to get paid for it. And at the same time, I'm sat here going, but I just want the models. I'm practically, like, I'm not rich. I'm not rich. I'm unemployed. I'd love to pay everybody, but I can't. Sammy says, I think I saw the model that you used for tutorial on DeviantArt. Yes, I think I got that one either from DeviantArt, from Magical Pouch, I believe it was. I think it was Magical Pouch, or it was on Source Filmmaker. Hang on. DeviantArt. Let me just check DeviantArt and make sure I'm not streaming the wrong screen here. Okay, there we go. I love the way I'm looking at 3D stuff on DeviantArt, and the first thing, because DeviantArt is always cursed, the first thing I see is somebody making poses for feet in Poser or something. It's like, dude, what the heck? Tutorial model 3D, and then there's Luna from IMP there as well. And then I type in tutorial 3D model and I get all kinds of cursed stuff because DeviantArt. I'm trying to find this exact tutorial model, and instead I'm finding stuff that's like totally cursed, like really cursed. Like, why the heck am I getting images coming up of like tutorial in a bikini and stuff? It's just, I didn't search for this. What the heck? Oh, that was it. Chibi Hamuko, I think the name is. I'm not entirely sure, is the one that apparently created tutorial. Could be wrong. It looks like a similar one. Yeah, don't get me wrong. It's like, it's sad that Monster Kid doesn't have any arms, says Rich Cable Jr. Indeed. Yeah, like, I'm looking at DeviantArt here, and it's an absolute cesspool for some, like, artwork. Like, I'm literally looking for just tutorial on her own, right? So I can find the 3D model, and I'm looking, and it's giving me all kinds. But then again, that's my fault for the way that DeviantArt is set up. I'm just like, oh no. It's kind of like whenever you search up anything else online, you always get like the most disturbing things ever. Undertale fan games can be weird, no offense, everyone, says Damon. Yeah, Damon means no offense. It's kind of like if you say the same for like Sonic fans. What he's trying to explain is the whole thing that there is always that side of the fan base that makes some weird stuff that you don't expect. And then it's just like, oh no, time to get out the bleach. But yeah, I did not expect to come on stream and see that. Ooh, come on now. Need. There you go. Place that there. I mean, like in BSG and Transformers, there's some odd people in those fandoms. Every fandom has the part where it's like really odd or weird. It's just a case of like ignoring that section of the fandom. you'll always get the people that make the weird artwork, and it's just like, dude, I don't want to see this. You know. Like, trust me, I don't mean any offense to people like, when I say stuff like that. It's more just the whole thing of it is funny seeing that kind of thing, but at the same time, it's just like, no, I don't want to see that, you know. I'm trying to search up one thing in particular, and instead I'm getting something else totally different that I had no interest in. I remember I was about to make a 3D model of Snowden Shopkeeper a long time ago, says Inky. Oh, nice. I take it that's just one of a couple of projects that have been kind of like, yeah, I'll get around to it when I've got time. Because a lot of people do not have time, obviously. Time is not infinite, unfortunately. Okay, I'm so done with trying to find So Sorry, says Sammy. Yeah. All I see is Toriel, Frisk, Sans, and Azrael. Yeah, that tends to be the case. This is what I was saying the other day. Like, a lot of people just put up the most popular characters, and then don't put up some of the other minor ones. Like, if you search up 3D model of So Sorry on Google, I think you'll find one that's on Twitter. But I actually contacted that Twitter user and was like, can I get this? And they were like, yeah, sorry, I don't have the original files. And I was like, no. So it was pretty painful. You know, like, where is that actual Google thing? Hang on, google.com. I'm making sure I'm not streaming the wrong thing there. Undertale, So Sorry, 3D model. There we go. So when you go to Google and type that, where's the exact one I'm after? It was it wasn't from the Roblox thing. Wait, what? Toby just mess around with the fan base here. I'll explain it in a moment. Let's see. Gaster. There was one, it was literally a Twitter account that had an image of it. I just can't find the image easily like I used to be able to. The heck? There was... Oh, there it is. No, sorry, I'm wrong. From Tumbex, Tumbex, and when you click on the link, it's to Solitary Scribbles on Twitter. And then when we click Solitary Scribbles, yeah, it comes up with the same person. So what they've done is they did a 3D avatar of So Sorry ages ago with like 5 different hats and different facial expressions and everything. It was everything I needed, and it was a commission. And yeah, they turned around and went, yeah, no, it's not been done, unfortunately. I've not got the files anymore. So it's just like, oh well. Let's see. Let's go back to chat. David says, I might try and learn Blender. This looks pretty fun. It is fun. It's just time consuming. You know, it's like with all art in general, it tends to be time consuming. And also it's the whole deal with having to then go through what is essentially the love-hate process. And what I mean by that is, it's like, you love doing it, but the hate process is just having to do tech support every single time you want to do something, and it doesn't work exactly exactly how you want, and then you're just like, dude, will you just work for me? And then Blender's just like, maybe not. Maybe I'll just decide I want to do something random today, or maybe I'll just crash. You know? A good one would be learning how to do Blender, but learning how to do what they call, where was it? There's a certain way of like doing painting in Blender. It's pretty crazy. Painting in Blender. I actually want to try it. Where is it? There's like a way of essentially doing 3D models, but make it look as though it's like hand drawn or painted. It's a really cool way of doing like 3D stuff. I want to try it out. eventually. Because basic 3D or just like high poly 3D is good. I've done that. Can't remember the name of it now. There's tutorials for it on YouTube. It's not texture painting. It's not getting mistaken for texture painting. It's actually doing stuff in Blender that looks like it's 3D, but it's all like, it's also 2D at the same time. It's really weird. Hang on. Let me try and search it up again. Blender painting 3D. I've seen it a bunch of times. There's a certain style to it as well that's really unique. I can't find it right now. God damn it. I'm gonna have to find it some other point. Oh, there it is. Grease pencil. That is it. Grease pencil. It's a very unique way of doing things. I love the way Toby's apparently trolling in 2016 where he posts up an image saying the 3D tutorial from the commercial is also canon. I don't know what that means, but just keep that in mind. Just looking at that image of 3D tutorial. I might have to have 3D tutorial in there somewhere for a laugh. Oh, like sprites, like Doom 2. You can do sprites as well. You can do quite a lot with Blender. It's just nice that it's free. You wait, Dave, I'm gonna pop out of nowhere and you're gonna see me in VR chat, Sammy. Sammy, did you manage to do a, like, get Steam set up, or? Because I remember you said you were having problems with that. Also, Damon, if you want to see what I was on about, it's literally called Grease Pencil. Just try searching it up in, like, YouTube for a moment. Just go search, like, Blender Grease Pencil. You see what I mean? It's a really unique art style. It's so cool. I'm gonna mirror this. Oh. I'm glad I didn't, like, fully show off everything before. It's like, Dave, if you're spoiling everything, I'm like, no. As long as nobody goes back to that point in the stream, we're all good. Although, again, it doesn't spoil too much. It doesn't spoil the overall look that I'm doing and everything. It just showed it off a little bit. I remember the first day of talking to Jitlag about the Burger Pants model. He'd give it to me and also made fell pants on my birthday, says Inky. Oh, nice. Someday, no, says Sammy. Steam doesn't work on my Chromebook. Aww. So sorry to hear that. Let's put this up here. That reminds me, I need to check. My microphone is like pretty low here. Once it goes to a certain point, what I'll do is I'll give it a charge for like an hour, and then I might be able to get on VR chat after that, because I just want a little bit of a break so I can do stuff, but that'll be later on when I've got more done. This is fracking amazing, says Damon. Indeed. And then he and I became best friends, says Inky. Oh, nice. Sammy says, it's fine, really. I'm going to get money and either buy an Oculus or a PC. Oculus you can get on VR chat straight away, but the thing is, it's like, it's not really recommended, primarily because just, it barely runs on the Quest. Like, it'll run, but you will get a very heavily downgraded version of VR chat just using the Quest on its own. It's why I keep recommending everybody get like a computer that can handle it and then get a headset for cheap. Because you can get a headset for cheap and upgrade that pretty easily. But it's the whole thing of having the computer to do that in the first place is important. So you're not just like jumping in and then being like, oh god, this is terrible. You know? It's funny because Frisk's voice actress, Wally, has just a Quest 2 on its own. So whenever I try and go in the Undernet with her, normally she's just like, dude, it's lagging like crazy in here, and the next minute she'll just like freeze up because of the amount of people on screen, or the amount of avatars, and the next minute it'll be like, yeah, and I crashed again. So there's a lot of crashing on Quest when you're just using the Quest on its own and nothing else. Because some of the worlds are pretty massive and detailed and can cause it to crash pretty frequently, which is unfortunate. You know. David says, thank God to BSG for creating swears without actually swearing. Really, I've used an Oculus, though I never went on VR chat, I'll admit. Yeah, just if you want, if you've used an Oculus before, or you've got access to one, like if a friend has one, just try asking them, can you try VR chat on it, and can you try going in the Undernet? You'll see what I mean, it does get pretty laggy. Which is unfortunate. I've tried it myself as well, and it is heavily downgraded. Whereas if you're on PC and you use the Oculus through the PC, it's a lot better of an experience. So for some strange reason, users on VR chat seem to not like people that are just on Quest on their own. I don't know why, they just call them Questies or whatever. But I think it's primarily because the consensus seems to be that the general people that use just Quest on its own or whatever are just kids that have had the Quest bought for them by the parents. It's weird. It's weird. There's a lot of stuff going on like that. There's a good channel that covers things like that and just all stuff VR. It's called The VR Show, I think. That's got a female presenter. And yeah, she goes on about it a little bit, and the stigma behind Quest versus like a standalone PC VR headset. It's an interesting conversation of like whether it's good or bad to just hop on with Quest alone or not. The amount of like greenery I'm putting in this area, man, it's nuts. You can get a link cable. Yeah, do not buy the official one. Do not get an official link cable. All my stuff that I've got for my Quest, it costs a little bit extra together. It costs like an extra $100 or something, but the money that I spent was well worth it because it makes the thing really comfy and secure. The best way of describing it is when you get the Quest first out the box, it's okay, but you'll start noticing that you want other things from it, like you might want bigger controllers or controllers that just don't use batteries all the time, or you'll want controllers where they don't have like the Wii remote hand straps on and actually you can just hold freely with your hands like the Valve Index knuckles. You might want the head strap to be a bit better because that's the main complaint, is like the head strap is just meh. It's just kind of there and isn't good. And for me, especially with like my glasses, I don't want my VR to fog up, so I got like a special insert that has more vents in it. So I ended up modifying my Quest heavily, but now it's super comfy, and I enjoy long sessions on it, or I can just chill out. But I think I need to wash the faceplate at the moment because it's got like the leather, one of the leather protective things, like a protective cushion for my face, and yeah, it keeps rubbing against my face and leaving an imprint in there, and it makes it kind of uncomfy after a little while. So I think I might need to wash that or change it out for one of the sponge ones so that it's a little bit more comfy on my face, because the leather one was really nice at first and now it just keeps on grinding away at my skin. And for anyone that's familiar with that, then you know that I have a disability that affects my skin, so can't be wearing it as much as I could at the moment. I really want to get back on it as much as I can and enjoy myself on it because it's really fun. Oh. let's just do this and get rid of that little bit there. Oh, come on now, there we go. I love the way I'm just like slowly building up this greenery everywhere. It's just making the entire ruins look like it's overgrowing. Yeah, I wear glasses. I wear glasses for super long distances and generally for like watching TV and stuff, just for like really small text. Primarily just because like I have decent vision anyway. But the whole thing is, like, as I'm getting older, my eyes are slowly unfocusing a little bit at range. So that's the only reason I have them, really. Like, I only needed glasses or started wearing glasses properly, even though, you know, I've had glasses for a while. I only need to really start using them around about 2018, 2019. And that's primarily because that's when I got a car. And it's important when you're driving to see everything. So I was like, okay, everything needs to be crystal clear. I'll get glasses for driving and when I'm doing like streams and stuff. Sometimes if I've got like the resolution on my screen super high, which I normally do so I can fit more stuff on, normally I have the glasses on just so I can read all the text because otherwise it becomes a little bit blurrier. But yeah, apart from that, normally I can just take my glasses off and just chill. Kiwi Design can help with that. Yeah, I've got the Kiwi Design face covers. The leather one is actually one of them. I just need to use one of the other ones, so I can always just go and find my quest box and fish out the other face interfaces and snap one of those on instead. Let's see. Sammy says, I have a 10-year-old Fire tablet and it still works, and now I can get Snapchat from my friends. He says, I'm a bit worried about the phone version of VR chat though. Oh, because of how it is? Yeah, for Kiwi, I've got Kiwi's Elite head strap for my my Quest. And I've got Kiwi's facial interface, the fitness one that has more vents on it. And then for the rest of it, I have a carry case, which is made not by Kiwi, but another company. I can't remember which one. It actually might say on the side here. Hang on. Bobo VR. And then I've got the Orbica grips, which allow me to use them like Valve knuckles. I've got some Kiwi silicon protection for the rings that are on the controllers. And then I've just got like a massive plastic sort of defending guard thing for if I drop the entire Quest on the floor, because it's more or less like a minor investment at this point in terms of like how much money I've sunk into it. So it's like I've got to make sure it's the highest quality thing I can have, and also it's really well protected. One guy though, it was in the news when I typed in VR, he decided the smartest thing ever would be to wear his VR headset while going outside on a sunny day, and then it overheated 5 times on him because of the heat and completely broke. So he got the full immersive experience while it crashed 5 times and then broke on him. He's all good though. I'm sure it's fine, right? It's no big deal. Let's just move this around here. Trust me when I say having this entire area be covered in moss and vines growing up the walls and stuff looks so cool right now. But obviously no spoilers. Oh, say that, and then I've got an issue with one of the vines growing up the wall there. I need to fix that on the other one. Oh no, it's fixed. Strange. Huh. Might just be the way I rotated that then. Come on now. The idea is I want like vines growing up the walls and down from the ceiling and stuff. Damon says, that's such a big brained move. the headset wasn't made to be in the day. Yeah, it was one of the stupid things where when you get a Quest 2, everybody should do research before they get a Quest, because they're good. They are really good. Don't get me wrong, but doing research allows you to avoid breaking what is essentially a small investment, because you can break them really easy. And the reason for that is literally just the simple fact of the inner lenses are incredibly fragile and can scratch really easy, and it's prone to sun damage quite easily as well, because obviously it's not meant to be taken outside. So it's one of those things where whenever I don't use it, I put a cover over the lenses, and then I put it inside its carry case at all times so it never gets out of that. And then I just like charge the grips and everything else away from me where I can't like touch them or break them. And in general, when it comes to like usage of anything near them, like when I'm drinking like water or whatever on stream, normally all my drinks are way far away from the Quest, just so I do not like spill water or like juice or anything on it, because that thing is so expensive. Like even like $300 to me is like super expensive. Like hell, even 100 is with me being, you know, basically unemployed. So it's like I ain't taking any risks, you know. Let's do this, and then I'll just mirror that. But yeah, when I was buying it, I did so much research on it so I could avoid breakage. And also I did research on it so I could make sure that it was ready to go straight out of the box, because you actually need a smartphone to sign up to even get to use it in the first place. Because it's weird that, but it's required for like sign on and stuff. So I just made a fake email for it, or a burner email, and then just went ahead and installed everything, because you need like an app on your computer that it links to, and then you're good. You're good after that. It's just away you go. You can enjoy everything. But yeah, I did so much research before I even touched the thing, just to make sure that I was ready to be using it and that I wasn't gonna break it by accident. But I don't think other people do that. They just kind of grab it and go, oh yeah, it's fine. And the next minute they're like, oh no, I broke this thing. It's the manufacturer's fault. It's like, no, you should have done your research. Oh, let's just put that there. Oh, dude, this is starting to look like, you know, the insides of like a cave on Minecraft or something. So cool. Let's see. Like how they live from day to day without being hit by a car or tripping down a manhole. No offense to your friend. No, it wasn't my friend though, Damon. There was just some random guy. Quest 3 is coming soon. Indeed. Quest 3 is coming soon, and I didn't know whether I would get that or not, but with it being more money, I was just like, no, I can't do this, you know. So I had to go for the Quest 2, and it's still worth it. It's still got decent power behind it. The Quest 3 is looking nice, though, with it being like 40% slimmer, and with it being slightly better in terms of performance. I'm remembering a story about someone said something. I don't think so. There may have been some slight confusion there, but I'm just catching up on chat. Damon says, apparently Cyberpunk 2077 is awesome. I hope so now. It should get enough updates, but it's just a case of like, how good is it? I want to try it out eventually, because I got it for Gem when it first came out. And we've just not played too much of it, so primarily because of all the bugs. Right, let's... Because I even did a video on it being like, dude, what the heck did the higher-ups think this was okay to send this out? And it's a simple fact that they just wanted the money off it then and there. Like, screw everybody else, we'll just get the money off it. And then instead everyone's like, no, we'll just refund this. Thank you very much, bye. So after waiting quite a long time, I hope it's good, you know. But to make it back up to the community, they're gonna have to invest a lot of time doing like free updates for that thing, just like No Man's Sky. My dad was hit by 3 cars once when he was younger. Ooh. Ooh. That's not good, for obvious reasons. Right, let's put this moss overhead here. Dude, that moment where I'm literally just filling this entire hallway, the one that leads up to the spikes and water room, I'm filling that with just moss and ivy and vines all over the place. And then later on I can just place like a couple of rocks here and there. I need it to look overgrown and ancient. And just doing this is such an easy way of getting it to look like that, and it's looking so nice. I always keep this to myself. Your electronics is your treasure. Keep it safe, says Inky. Yeah, it's like I treat everything that I get like that as best I can do, because it's like, why wouldn't you? You know, you're spending a lot of money on electronics and stuff, so just treat them with a little bit of respect and care, you know, because you don't want to just waste money. I feel like some people do this and they're like, oh no, why did I waste money? And it's like, well, if you'd have paid more care in the first place, you know. Put that there. Put more on the floor. The amount of moss in here is going to be nuts. Like, it's... When I show off this update, I'm half tempted to just turn around and call it the moss update for a joke. And then do a... try and get Susie as like a 3D model and just do a Chris, where the hell are we kind of joke. But have Frisk in there as well. So she thinks Frisk is Chris. That would be so funny. Sammy says he has a scar on his stomach and the back of his head. Ooh. Ooh, sorry to hear that, Sammy. He's still rolling though. I mean, it's good to hear, but those are some nasty places, you know. Back of the head especially. I think he says IDKY, but I'm hungry for pizza. Pizza, man. Pizza's awesome. Yeah. Don't purposely destroy stuff. Stuff ain't getting any cheaper, says Damon. I know, right? Like in general, you'd think people would take good care of stuff that they own, because you don't want to just like waste money. But apparently in some cases that isn't, you know, a thing that people think about. Instead, they're just like, oh, it's okay, I can do whatever. It's just like, no, you really can't. Do here. Let's rotate this. Some people are going to come into the stream and be like, dude, what the heck? Why can't I see anything? And it's like, because it's all special and top secret. You know, it's not a big deal. You will all get to see the eventual full update, and it'll be really cool. Just trying to camouflage some of these little things that I've done here so they look natural, you know. It's all got to line up and look natural, because if it doesn't, well, then it starts getting to that uncanny valley bit. It's like when I'm lighting the characters and making the characters look good in this atmosphere, I've got to do it and make it so that it doesn't look like a weird uncanny valley where stuff doesn't look like it fits together. Okay, that works. I can do like vines from the ceiling there now. Do you remember the golden age of cartoons or games? Hey, X-Ram! Dude, why the heck can't I see anything? Oh, good to see you again, X-Ram. Golden age of cartoons and video games. Anything from the late 80s to about the I'm gonna say 2015, maybe, just a little bit before then, for me was golden age of cartoons and video games. How you doing, good looking? Oh, eggs, Ram, at least take me to dinner first. No, I'm messing. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. It's all doing good. I'm doing a little stream where I do all this kind of stuff, but I don't give away the spoilers for it, but I'm still showing off that I'm doing stuff. So everybody's kind of watching me do the work on one screen while I'm doing the proper detail work on the other. And the other detail work is so cool. And then I need to potentially change lighting later on, but apart from that, we good, we good. Oh, whoa. I love the way I say that, and then I try and move a set of vines, and it just ends up like going off at light speed down the other end of the ruins where Toriel and Frisk are, and I'm like, excuse me? Best I can do is digital dinner in VR chat, says Exram. Oh my god. Spotcat Street Sharks TMNT, says Damon. Yes! Yes! Sammy says he was on his bike and a car knocked him off. A second one bumped into him and the third one actually got him. He loves telling people this story. He's a superhuman. Changed my mind. That's incredibly lucky. It's like one of my friends who ended up getting cancer and then having chemotherapy for it and surviving it. He had been to Nepal and got that. But while he was going through chemotherapy, he was going to like different places and trying to do different jobs. And on the way back from one of his jobs one time, he'd bought a motorbike, and a car came out of a side road when it wasn't supposed to, and hit him and knocked him off his bike. And my friend stands up when this guy comes over to find out if he's all right, and he's shouting and saying, "Oh, you shouldn't have jumped out in front of my car or whatever." My friend goes up to him after he gets up off the ground, gets his helmet and butts the guy in the face with the helmet, breaks his helmet and passes out. And then the next thing he knows, he's waking up with these ambulance people next to him, and it's just like, dude, nice. So, it's pretty crazy. So yeah, I just thought it was pretty nuts that some guy like tries to start a fire with him. This guy that's like surviving cancer and going through chemotherapy just beats the living daylights out of him. Like, dude. Remember when he told me that? Because I was just like, wait, you butted the guy in the face with your helmet and broke your helmet. And he's like, yeah, but it was worth it. That's crazy. I couldn't imagine being there, says Sammy. He's done that, and I've done some crazy stuff before, but nothing that I'm proud of. Nothing like that, at least, anyway, you know. I remember talking to two people of having one body, and they told me their story. They were twins as well, says Inky. Interesting. I almost bust my head open before a football game, says Sammy. Ooh. Jeez, that's something you don't want to do. For obvious reasons. Trying to put all this moss and everything around here and line it up is a bit crazy. There we go. Trying to camouflage all this stuff to look natural is it's pretty nuts. Now I need to put some vines there. Can we get some? I need to get some that I can use here now. Ooh. Wait, is that? Ah, yeah, there we go. Got some vines. that moment where you spend literally like, what, 2 hours detailing the ruins, but I mean, if it takes that long to detail them, it takes that long, you know? If they're gonna look good, then it takes that long. It's all worth it at the end of the day. If it gets the same reaction out of people that I had previously, which is like, wow, you know, and stuff like that, then it's definitely worth it. Plus, I really enjoy it. It's really cool just like placing all these things around. Somebody was making fun of it the last time and be like, dude, it's your own build your own level kit? And I'm like, it kind of is, yeah. What if you made the snail game in the future, says Inky. Wait, the one from, am I getting confused here? The one outside Toriel's, or? Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Damon. Is like, I haven't got any cool stories, they'll just torpedo the vibes. It was after school, I could see my little sister at the bus ramp, so I decided to sneak up on her and do a rim shot. She turned around before I could scare her and chase me. The one in Waterfall, yeah, the one, sorry, not Toriel's one, the one at Napstabluke's. The, Thunder Snail. That would be, funny to include that. You know, just go to Napstabluke's and be like, so anyway, we're just gonna hang out with Napstabluke now and do Thunder Snail. And actually include the ever ominous horse stable. And then have everybody going, oh my god, he's doing Deltarune because he referenced the knight! Or it might be Gaster, and it's like, oh boy. Like I've mentioned before, I've already snuck Gaster in multiple times into the trailers that feature Frisk in the True Lab. It's just a case of whether you can actually see that stuff or not. Well, let's do this. Oh, how you doing anyway, Eggsram? Thought I should ask and be polite here instead of just like chilling out and be like, oh yeah, I'm doing fine. It makes me sound as though I don't care about anybody else if I only be like, oh yeah, I'm fine, and don't ask about anybody else. Let's go up here. Take this set of vines, make it slightly bigger. Trying to get these vines to look good, man, is pretty cool. This is starting to honestly look like Minecraft. How's the weather where you are? It's pretty cool, yeah, as Damon said. What if you put memes in this project? You mean the actual character, the actual person memes, or memes as in like actual memes from Undertale? Green Pebble says, hi Moody, hello, hello, how are you doing? I may come in VR chat now because I know you're around. And just be like, so anyway, Undertale memes. It would be pretty fun to do that. Come in VR chat and say hi like I normally do because I love doing that. But yeah, Green, just so you know, it's going to look weird, but I'm basically detailing the ruins while also keeping everything a secret from everybody. What I'm doing here is I'm like planting moss and putting vines all over the place and making it look really cool. The difference is that you can only see it from up above, so I'm not spoiling anything, although before I did kind of ruin it a little bit. Yeah. I was like, oh, okay, I'll do some stuff, and I accidentally showed off a little bit of the textures, but it's no big deal. It's not like I've ruined everything. But yeah, doing the ruins, detailing them, making them all look really nice and pretty. And essentially, it looks like every Minecraft environment at the moment. And the reason why I say that is because it's like it's overgrown with vines and everything just hanging like off the roof and mushrooms everywhere, but it looks so cool. Looks so good. I can't wait. My idea for this is to essentially get a side-by-side shot of what it used to look like with the sprite work, and then what it looks like now, because it's so good. Inky says, right now I'm just making my Burger Pants OC on Blender. Wish me luck. Ooh, good luck, Inky. Inky, just wondering, do you know any way that I could probably get hold of the files for like Catty or whatever? You know, because I imagine you'll probably know how to get some of the rarer files, or if there was any way of asking somebody to kind of help create those. Because I figure I might as well reach out to people that have more contacts to see if they want to, you know, if anybody wants to try and do that to be a part of the project for characters that we don't have at the moment. I don't have the Catty model though, says Inky. That's fine, that's fine if you don't have it. If you know anybody that like would have it, or anybody that doesn't mind trying to help out the project by making one, then by all means, I don't mind if you reach out to them and ask for me, you know, because obviously I don't have many contacts at the moment. I'm kind of just asking the wider community and be like, please, please help. I can try. Yeah, that's no problem. I'm not, like, this is going to sound terrible at the beginning, so I've got to clarify, but let me say, like, I don't expect anything, but if I do get something, it would be nice, you know. And it sounds terrible, but it's the whole thing if I'm playing it as, like, cautious optimism as the best way of putting it, of like, oh, it'd be nice, but it won't affect anything if I don't. It'll just be nice to have extra stuff, so if you can, it would be nice. If not, then it's totally fine. I just figure it's better treating everything that way and not getting my hopes up, rather than getting my hopes up and be like, yeah, this is totally gonna happen, and then it not happening, you know. Exram says, recreating everything in 3D is already a feat of its own. Indeed it is. Sammy says, a funny thing, the scar on my arm is also heart-shaped, just like the burn I have on my wrist. Ooh, interesting. Oh, excuse me. Hiccuped then. Interesting. Let's take that. Can I? Drop these here. And then drop another one there. Dude. It looks even cooler because I've got like the fog on. So the fog allows me to have a little bit of depth in the scene. Looks so good. Dave, do you have a... Oh, no. Have you ever heard a snare drummer do a rim shot? It doesn't sound familiar, but I think I may have. I don't know. Damon says, that's the best pickup line, just to get on your knees and shout, please, please, go on a date with me. What the heck? Let's rotate this here on a 90 so we get some vines growing down from above. Oh, no, I didn't want to copy object. I want to duplicate. Let me put that there. Oh, it's almost like there's a curtain of vines coming down from the wall now. That looks awesome. Here's where I find out I've spoiled everything by accident. If you're close, it can pop your ears if you're not careful or used to it. The stick hits both the head of the drum and the rim. It's really loud. Okay, I'm not familiar with that then. I just realized we spent 2 hours 19 in doing the stream at the moment because of the music ending. Interesting. Let's see if I can make this work. Can we get these vines lined up with the previous ones? Nope. Or can I try cutting a bit off the previous ones so that I can get them to line up? Because I would love a massive curtain of vines here. Yeah, let's try that. Delete faces. I'm so hungry right now. I might actually go and get some cereal as well, because cereal's like my favorite snack food. Cereal is one of my easy snack, like go-to snacks. Let's try and turn that and rotate it. Like whenever I'm hungry late at night, because late at night your metabolism goes really bad. You're not meant to eat stuff after a certain time because you'll put on excessive amounts of weight really fast. Normally what I'll do is I'll just have cereal. It's an easy go-to. Think I can get that to work? Yeah, that looks alright, detail-wise. I have to keep an eye on the stream to make sure I'm showing the right screen here. Because of what happened before. Exam says, cereal is old reliable. Indeed. Cereal is like the best food to go to late at night, especially because like you don't want to be eating loads at night. You really don't. It's when you're suffering from like depression or whatever, it can really mess you up, like to the point where you just stay up late at night anyway, and then you just get hungry because your body's like, so anyway, we're meant to go to sleep now, but because we're not, we're just gonna get really hungry. You might want food. It's like, no, stop tricking my body. Stop tricking my body into thinking I need food when I don't. No. Ooh. Let's do that, and then we'll do another one down here. And then we'll rotate that one and make it slightly bigger. So we rotate it on the x-axis, make it bigger, move that down. So it doesn't match up, and then we'll do another vine there. I'm spending so much time doing all these vines, but like it's so worth it. What's the music? So the music is Phantasy Star, or it's the entire Phantasy Star episode 1 and 2 soundtrack. I got back, I got my chicken strippers, says Sammy. Oh, nice. Dude. Envious? You got chicken? I meant chicken strips. It's fine, I understood what you meant. It's all good. It's all good. Funny enough, I think over here, Domino's literally has some stuff called chicken strippers. I'm gonna have to check just in case, because I swear it is. Domino's chicken strip. Yeah, there we go. Chicken strippers V2. So it's no big deal. It's even on the blog. It just shows them. Now I have that image in my head of it putting stilettos on my chickens. Pinky says, sometimes I eat pizza and I don't remember eating at all. Oof. Generally, staying up late just makes you feel really hungry anyway, so it's a case of like not falling for that. Try and see if I can make more of these vines come up here. The funny thing is, I'm spending so much time doing all this detailing, I don't even know if I'm going to show off every single bit of these details, but even if I don't, If I only show off a little bit, it's fine. It's just that whole thing of people be like, dude, why are you doing this if you're not going to show it off? It's like, well, if it ends up being in a shot that I use, then... Damon says, playing an awesome horror level on VR chat you'll like called Haunted Asylum. I'll post it in your Discord, Dave. Ooh, interesting. What would you guys do if Undertale was real, the whole thing? I don't know. I really don't know. It would be pretty cool to imagine as it being like real. It's just the whole thing of, would you really want the entire world being destroyed by Flowey over and over and over again just for giggles though? Climb to Mount Abbott. Totally. Go straight to Abbott and just be like, right, here we go, bye! Let's see what's going on here. People talking about stuff in main lobby. Oh, I see what it is. Virtual reality, let's check that out. If Undertale was real, I'd probably go for some chicken strippers, says Exram. Would that be scary or no? It would be scary if Undertale was real, because then basically your entire fate is put in the hands of a small child. You know. What have I started, says Sammy? We're almost out of this this tiny area here. Where's your screen? So we're detailing, or I have been detailing for ages now, this section of the map. Just this portion. You can tell because when you look at the details here, you can see a ton of different things going on here, but then like nothing down here past the water room, where I need to place everything else, like the pillars and the other bits of foliage and the leaves that I still need to import and stuff like that. I'm slowly getting out of here. I'm just doing little details on the side walls. And then I'm going to be into the water room, which I'm going to have to do the water, light it up, or figure out how to light it. Do the fake caustics, which are really cool. I can potentially show off the fake caustics on stream. Hang on. Let's try... Ooh, can I do that without spoiling anything? I might do that later. The caustics is the whole thing of, if you've ever seen like films or a really cinematic sort of look of water, where like underwater the light comes in, hits it, and then reflects the surface of it onto the bottom of say like a pool or whatever. So you can see like the water ripples moving on the bottom of the pool. Caustics is basically that effect, but I have to fake it. But the way I'm faking it, it looks really cool, and I can actually get it to do the whole thing of reflecting on the roof. I'm doing that in areas where there's water and it looks so nice, and I'm like, just for waterfall, the entire thing is just going to be caustics. You know, so it's going to look really nice. I'm just like, yes, because it took me ages the other night to get it to work. I'm just like, it was worth it. It was so worth it. What character would you want to meet the most, says Inky from Undertale, and not get killed straight away? Let's think. Trying to give this a good thought, because it depends on where you are in the story as to whether you get killed or taken away to Undyne or Asgore or whatever. That's a hard one. That is a hard one, you know. If there were no restrictions on it, then no, it'd be cool, but I'm just trying to think of it with restrictions and just be like, it's kind of limiting outside the ruins, you know. Papyrus, he doesn't kill you. He doesn't kill you. But, like, the thing is, he'll capture you and give you to Undyne, who will then give you to Asgore, who will then kill you. You know? So it's like, it's that knock-on effect of being like, who do I pick? You know? It'd be cool meeting Alphys. Like, I relate a lot to Alphys. I want the cheesecake that Toriel offered Frisk. Oh, not the cheesecake, the cinnamon pie. Cinnamon and butterscotch. All you have to do is flirt with Papyrus. Yeah, but he's not gonna fall for everybody. He has standards. You make it sound as if anybody could just go and pick up Papyrus. Oh. Oh, no. Seriously? Can I just... Oh, I just want to do a loop cut here and it's... There we go. I have to ask Jen about that. Jen around, I'm like, Jen, can we get a butterscotch and cinnamon pie, please? Or at least make one, because I kind of want one. I can make spaghetti, Sesame. Bruh, I'm dead, Suzuki. Yeah, here's one, right? If Undertale was real, what are your chances? If you play it by the game's events, if you play it by the game's events and the way that things go, what are the chances of you actually getting out of the ruins? You know? Like, what are the chances of you actually getting past Toriel? Because I figure with Frisk, obviously, when you're not playing the main character Frisk, with Frisk, it's an exception. With everybody else, it's like, ooh, you know, it's like, how are you going to get out and get past Toriel? Or are you even going to get to Toriel because you have to move Napstablook out of the way? It's like, how do you approach that tastefully and not upsetting Napstablook? How do you get past, like, all the different Froggets and Whimsums? You know? So do you even realistically get to Sans, or do you just, like, end up falling prey to some Frogget or something? You know? I figure the way that I play that is, at least in Immersiontale, Frogget is curious. So we have this incredibly curious, almost like a cat or a dog kind of, version of Frogget coming up and just saying hi before it decides whether it wants to attack you or not. You know, making the ruins look very sort of tame and not a total hellscape where everything is out to kill you. Let's get that set of vines there. Come on. Can I? Ah, there we go. If I put those vines in the corner there and then turn them on at 90, I can then make it look as though they're growing up the very corner of the wall there. That is nuts. Exram says, if they speak Spanish, I'm probably alright. If not, I'm dead. Easy tactic to defeat Blukey, lay down and wait. I'll stay with Toriel forever, says Damon. Toriel would be so happy just looking after people, I think. You know. Sure, it'd be a bit sort of controlling, because she's always kind of there being like, so anyway, you're gonna stay here, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, but at the same time, it's like, she only means well. You know. Inky says, if I'm really annoying dog, I'm like, what the dog doing? Okay, I think I'm done with just about everything in that corridor. I just need to do the exit to the corridor and the water rooms. This is going to be interesting. I need to do the caustics. I need to light it up properly. I don't know whether I want another hole in the roof. That's the thing. It's like if I put a hole in the roof, it insinuates that there's more holes in the mountain. It's like, what's the chance of like multiple holes in the mountain coming down into the same location? Oh, it's more likely that there's just going to be shrooms everywhere in here. So I figure I may have to just place shrooms all over the place. Oh, which is going to be nuts. Like if I show you guys what this is like in 3D now, but I use this view, then I'm technically not showing you anything, right? Let's just make sure here. Okay, yeah, we're good. So I just hit the fog level. So what I'm going to show you so far is what I've done. I'm just going to make sure I've saved here. There we go. I think my mum and Toriel would get along. They like cooking and they have the same personality. This is Inky. Toriel is meant to be very motherly though. So what we've got here is this room, right? This is the first room. This is the one where Toriel tells us about the underground. And this is also where we're going to see Whimsum and the first Frogget in the entire thing. And this is going to be where they're all kind of chatting with each other. And it's not going to be the fight with Frogget. It's just sort of Frogget introducing themselves. And then Frisk being like, oh, hey, and goes to touch them. And then Toriel's like, you know, because she doesn't want the other monsters interacting with Frisk. So then the Frogget's going to run off. But as you can see, all of these individual boxes here around the area are planes. And all these planes have foliage on them. And then we've got the mushrooms everywhere. Who's Sans' voice actor in this project? Lo-Fi, or Lo-Fi T. I met them on VR chat. They are really, really good as Sans. Although admittedly they did say the voice sounded like Moist Critical a little bit, which is so funny. Because we made a joke saying I should do Sans, but doing like a critical video for part of the outtakes. But then what I've been detailing here, you can see is I've literally been putting, imagine all of these individual squares that you can see here that are running across the floor and the walls and everything. Imagine those have like vines and moss and just loads of greenery on them. Then you start getting an idea of how I've been detailing stuff while you've been looking at it from above. So like for instance, we've said that mushrooms genuinely only seem to grow around near areas where there's either water or there's greenery growing. So that makes sense that wherever there's a mushroom, there's greenery, you know, that has either been decaying or is still kind of growing there. So we've got like vines growing up the walls and stuff. Damon says, I mean, being looked after by Toriel would be fine, but what happens when you grow up? You're doomed if you grow past 10. I don't know, you know. Moister. Or moist, yeah, moist sounds. Sounds terrible without context. But yeah, as you can see, what I was detailing here just was round near the sign. So you can see I've put like the vines going overhead, so it's like a curtain. And I've got them along the walls, and there's moss on the floor and along the walls here and everything. It just, if you've ever been in some of the new Minecraft stuff where it's been updated and you get to see like all the greenery inside the caves, it's pretty much like that. It looks like high-res Minecraft, which is funny saying it, but it looks cool. Then we've got all the mushrooms that are on the sign that I mentioned about before, so that allows me to light up the sign. And then we've got the mushrooms and the vines growing here. Now what I'm up to is here, because the water flows into this room and around it, I've got to do a little trim around here in terms of detail to add more brickwork to it. But the thing is, I don't mind doing burger pants for this, says Rich. Ooh, nice. feels like you're making a game. It's like, the thing is, it's the same techniques used to make a game. We'll just make it look really good for Blender and for the animation. But yeah, when we get to this room, this was the room where I was like, do I put lights in or whatever, or what? I'm wondering whether mushrooms can grow under... Oh my god, I just thought, can I get like lily pad textures? Because that would be a really cool addition. Oh my god, yeah, I can get a texture for a lily pad. Oh, that's so good. If I can like nab that from Google, and then credit the creator, then I can put lily pads on the water. Oh no, I can't put them on the water surface because of the way that it is. Because the water surface moves around all the time. Damn. That's a shame. That would have been a really cool detail, but I'm restricted by the water itself and how the water works, because I'm looking at it and thinking, you know what, I can try and do all this cool stuff. I can do stuff under the water. I can do like grass under the water or something. And then go like full Minecraft with it. Exam, this will be a game on VR chat, says Inky. The thing is, I did say I want to try and have that. Like, I'm more than happy at some point to try and get all this stuff into VR chat. It would be really nice. Especially because using these techniques at the moment, all of this version of the ruins could probably be put in. Because I've not gone like super high detailed with it. It's just trying to do the lighting would be a pain, you know, because the lighting would not be the same. But yeah, I'm up to this room now, just placing like all of the things. I reckon I can see 4 Bakers or Frisk helping you out with this. Yes, Bakers has been helping me out already, and Frisk has been asking me, you know, for like what my take on Hotland was, and then when I showed them, they were like, oh, I got inspiration from that a little bit. And honestly, I've been spending a lot of time, like a really unhealthy amount of time, in Frisk's version of every word that is currently available in the Underground, because it was like the first set of levels that I ever found from Undertale, so I've spent an unhealthy amount of time in Frisk's set of levels, especially Hotland, trying to do everything like that. So it's cool talking to Frisk and going over different ideas and seeing what their ideas were for the Underground and how they would do it, because they have a more fantasy style approach to things, especially because they've not even played Undertale. So it's cool talking to them. I get shader help from Bakers. Admittedly, I've not talked to Bakers in a while again. I need to actually talk to them and see what they think about stuff so far, but they helped with the shaders on Hotland. And then the rest is just me. You know, so I've give credit, obviously, where credit is due. I need to update the credits list to make sure I'm on top of everything, but yeah. What if there was a fight system on VR chat for this? Oh, it would be good. I know Frisk is working on one currently. Like a PvP one, because they've mentioned it on the Discord. That reminds me, I didn't show off the battle menu, did I? For Immersiontale. I'm gonna have to show that off, because like I did it in 3D, because I'm gonna reference it at certain points, because that's gonna be so cool if I get that right. Let's try and do this thing. Yeah, I did you know, the menu. I've done the menu in 3D. Like if hang on. I'm gonna just try and see if I can put both of these windows like 3D, because then I might be able to. Okay, I've got away with this. I was there with you some weeks ago, says Inky, I think. Nice. So what I've done is I've saved this now. As long as I don't open the other versions of the Ruins files that I've got here, which are Ruins Redone, Ruins Map 1 and Ruins Map 2, I'm fine. I'm gonna have to see. I'm just gonna quickly open this one. This is an old version of the Ruins, so I should be fine. I just want to see how I did that room that I'm on about, because I didn't do any of the other bits, and this is all like from Gmod. Like the inspiration from this was Gmod, and then I ended up redoing it. Oh crap, why is the... It's like another window there, it's just randomly opened? That was weird. Is that right now? Yeah, it is. Okay, so it's missing some textures. There we go, it's missing some textures. I'm just trying to figure out how I lit this up. Oh, I see. So what I did was, because of the trim around the outside of the water, I put the... I see, I put the mushrooms there. Okay. So what I'm going to have to do for the new version is something similar, where I have like the moss growing on top of the trim, and then the moss coming down the walls there. And then do like the mushrooms growing out in the corners. That's going to be cool. Because I'm trying to match this version in terms of like the way that I've lit it up and everything. I remember this. Yeah, this is the old version that I've been showing off a bunch, where I'm like, yeah, it's fine. Let's see if I can show off some stuff though that isn't going to be too much of spoilers. So here's one for you that I can do. This is the caustics test. Now, I've been on about this already, but caustics is basically making stuff look like water when it's not water. So what we do here is, this is supposed to look like water on top, and it's supposed to simulate that water effect, right? Let's try and put it on a bigger surface so you can see. So if I put this on like here, you can see how that's starting to work and to look like underwater. No, when you're on like the water surface and this is underneath it. And the idea is I can tweak this to different brightness levels. So I can do like 1, 0.5, and we get like a different effect on it. I spent a while looking at a tutorial for Blender to be able to do this. It doesn't affect anything on the underside. But I'm going to be using that in areas of the ruins that have water. And also, that's the idea for waterfall. The idea for waterfall at the moment is to have this effect be almost everywhere. Because waterfall has those rocks that look wavy. You know, that have the wavy sort of texture on them. Inky says, I gotta be off. Have a good day, Moody. Thank you very much, Inky. Nice to talk to you again. But yeah, the idea is for waterfall to try and like cover most of the walls that are near water with this effect, just to make it look really good. Yeah, for those who don't know, by the way, I don't know whether I've explained it in previous streams. But yeah, Rich is Inky Eon from VR Chat. Inky was also the person that hooked me up with Burger Pants. So yeah, you have Inky to thank for the Burger Pants model that him and Jetlag kept hold of. Even though it had been taken off the internet ages ago, and I was searching 8 months for that model. Because it really had been taken off the internet. So when we see Burger Pants, you know, they've both been credited for getting Burger Pants' model. But yeah, that looks awesome, says Damon. It's going to be cool having this on the surface, because I think, if I remember rightly, if I do this, this is going to be part of the updates as well, but this is one that I can afford to show off. Now, we do that, it shouldn't show on the walls, but I think I might need to update the shader because something's gone wrong. It should actually stretch on the side walls. So yeah, something's wrong there with that. I'm gonna have to fix that, but what I've been doing is doing like little tricks. Like for instance, you'd see that underwater, right? I've been doing little tricks and stuff to be able to get it. So if I turned it like on a 90, oh no, wrong one, 0. Then on a 90, and then did this. Oh, it's still not doing it properly. I know I can do it from the other tester I had. Let's try just mirroring it on the Z-axis. No. You sound like you're talking about Transformers. But what I've done on the other version of this is I've made this so that you can see it from on the roof as well. So for instance, you can see that underwater. That's normal, but on the roof, sometimes you get the reflection of that. I've done that for like one of the other effects, and it just looks so nice. I posted this as just like a thing where it was animated on screen on one of the other Discords, and somebody turned around and went, "I want to drink it." It's like, wait, what? So that's part of the new update. But then the other one, this one, I've got to, let's try menu. Is it menu? Oh, menu. There it is, 3D battle menu. So I spent a while making these in 3D. And yeah, it's just a battle menu. It's very faithful to the actual sprite work. I actually copied the sprite work images into full 3D, which was pretty easy. Essentially what I did was I took the, where's the image there? The reference image? No, it isn't. Oh, MVM, I've seen it, Sasami. It's still good. What I did was I took, say, like, this is how I do it. We go into like plane. Right, so I'd get the image underneath and I'd just delete so many points in this. Because every 3D model is made out of points called vertices, right? And what I did was I actually put the image underneath and copied it pixel by pixel like this by just moving the vertices into the correct places. And then when you get to the end, you merge them together. Oh, yeah. You merge them together, and then all you do is you just go to File, Face, Fill, and that then gives you a plane in that shape. And then you just hit Solidify in here, and you immediately get a 3D shape that you can control like that. And I did that for all of those, so you can tell that took a while to get everything correct. You know, if I'm doing like every point and making it pixel perfect. But yeah, that's gonna be cool for small references and nods to the actual video game bit. You know, because of me doing the entire film and trying to make it be a blend of the game and an adventure story that sees the player thinking they're actually there and on the adventure rather than in a game. So it's going to be interesting having that appear at certain points in time, especially at the end, because I still need to make the last button, which is really important. And if you've seen me play the True Pacifist run, or you know of Undertale and know what happens at the True Pacifist run, then you know what the last button is, and it's by far the most important one. You know, so it's pretty crazy. Let's see if I can go back to the other one now. It's Ruins 2. I just saved it today. Can we just, yeah, there we go. I'm gonna like pray to God that I don't open the wrong window here. I just thought actually I might call it there for a little bit because it's going to take me a while to finish this, and I also don't want to spoil anything. But yeah, it's awesome how dexterous you are with this project. I love all the details, man. I absolutely love details. It's like I mentioned, I treat all my projects that I do like this, where I'm like, everything's got to be almost 100% perfect. It's got to look the best, you know, it's got to be the best I can do with what skill set I have. And it's been interesting constantly evolving this skill set from about late 2004, early 2005, up until now. No, because I can do a lot of stuff now on my own, but it's interesting just using every trick I've got in my book to try and make this look the best it can. Plus, I absolutely love the game, so it's just like, yeah, why not? You know, let's go all in on it. Let's try and do this. Before I at least go any further with this, let's do this caustics, scenery. And what I need to do for VFX is water. Water. Another one I did is the save point. The save point is actually really cool. I need to add that in later on because there's another one down here, Pastoral, or Wordtorial. hides behind a pillar, and I need to make get the stone pillar from the ruins. To just completely remake the beginning of Ruins all fallen down, and then I can texture it all myself and make it look tons better than it does at the moment. So cool. What we're gonna do here is we'll do the water. The water's a pretty neat trick, and I just need to make sure it works, and hopefully I won't spoil anything. We go to the water. Do water plane. I just remembered I need 2 water planes in this. Oh, that's going to be awkward. Okay, so we go to add modifier, ocean. There we go, and then I've got to figure out what I did in one of the other areas. Can I just get rid of one of these? Which one is it? That one. Okay, can I open up one of the other areas where I actually have... I'm going to take a risk on this. Please don't spoil anything. Oh, thank God. I was like, holy crap, if I spoil anything, then it's going to be bad. What I'm doing here is I'm trying to figure out what I did for the water surface. And then I'm just going to copy that across, and also how rough I had it. Okay, so for water, I'm going to need a couple of things here just to make it look the same, because I want it to be consistent. So we've got water surface material. Right? And then we're going to go into, oh no. Will shading show this off? I hope it doesn't. Oh, thank God it doesn't. That moment where I'm having a freaking heart attack every time I do something because I don't want to show anything off because it looks so good. So many spikes. There are 56 spikes in that room. I had to count to be accurate because of my whole deal about being super accurate. Right, so we need it to be not metallic, but to match the base color. We'll get the hex value of it. Roughness needs to be 0.2. So what we'll do is, for this, 0.2. Hex value for this. Right? And then, this is literally, I'm showing you how we create, like, the texture for, or the surface for the material here for water. This is literally how you do it in, like, some video games nowadays as well. So for, like, clear coat roughness, 0. We've got that. Transmission was, I think, 0.8. That's just how much light is let through it. Alpha is 0.8. Alpha is how transparent. Jacob Plowski? Chat, what's going on here? Creating an Undertale 3D movie. Literally just the entire True Pacifist run in 3D. I'm assuming you're new? And this was just randomly recommended to you? Exactly. Okay, so I guess I should get the trailer then. Give me a sec. Let's save that for the moment. Let's try... Where was the trailer? Trailer? Oh, let's try update. 30 second. This is a 30-second video. I'm also a Blender user, so that's why. Oh, nice! Okay. So here we go. This is the trailer for what I've got at the moment. While drinking. We have a new member, potentially. It's lagging there as well. I don't know why it's lagging. That moment where I have the trailer and the files for the trailer on on hand for this kind of moment. Yeah, I'm just working on it at the moment. That's kick-ass. Thank you very much. What I normally do is I do streams showing progress of it, and then go over like different little bits and stuff. I'm currently detailing the ruins again and making everything look good. This is the version of the Judgment Hall I did that looked so good. I just had to upgrade everything else. And what you're seeing through a lot of this is like older stuff. So like with the ruins now, I'm just going through and upgrading everything. There's Toby running off with the tutorial's phone. There's an ice cream. There's Alphys stood in front of. The souls with some unique text in the background. A lot of this is being upgraded. Like this is a very early version of Asriel that's like work in progress. But yeah, where's Hotland? Let's get Hotland out, because... Oh, wait, I don't think... Believe it or not, 30 minutes ago I had an idea to make the story of Kara and Asriel as a short video. Oh, nice! I've just realized I've not shown you guys the newest version of Hotland. Hava with the core in it. Or Hava. I'm trying to remember. What's... I think it was... Which one was it? That one or that one? Let's open it. Oh, there it is. There it is. Hotland off in all its glory. Hang on, just let it load for a moment. Oh my god, everything has to load. Just give it a moment. It's gonna take a while. It has to load all the materials. No. Come on, load. There we go. I need to put that bridge in there as well. There's the lava moving again. So cool. But then we've got the back of the lab with all the pipes and the conveyor belts. Admittedly, I need to light up some of these areas just a little bit better. We've got the shooting area over here. Ooh. I need to do all the little details as well, like for instance the cooking show. I need to actually light up this area a little bit better. Again, it's going to be done. It's a lot darker now, and that's because we included Muffet's area. So Muffet's area actually casts shadows on everything, and that's because she's inside a very large piece of rock that's being held up by some mechanical gizmos. And then, of course, the top area is pretty dark at the moment. And then the other shooting puzzles are inside of the stone pillars. There's the elevator. And then we've got the core, which I'm not sure whether I showed off previously. We've still got a lot of stuff to light up here again. There's the resort. Resort in all its glory. And then there's the core. It's massive, and we've got the stalactites hanging from the roof and stuff. There are a lot of insider jokes and memes on all of these screens all over the core. I'm not going to show them off on stream. I expect people to look out for them when they're watching and actually see if they can translate them. So I figured that'd be fun. But yeah, there's a lot of jokes on the core there. And the core, as you can see, is absolutely massive. Like you can see the bottom of it here with the heat affecting it, and you can see the lava just like slowly moving around here. But yeah, it's nuts. Absolutely love how the core looks, especially with all the wires hanging off it and stuff. It's just so good. But yeah, as you can see, it has a bunch of screens on it, all with like individual memes and jokes from members of the community and stuff. But dotted all over it. So yeah, Paul looks really nice now. Well, that's so much work he had to put into that. Indeed. I love making everything look just as detailed, so everything now has to look as good as both the core and the Judgment Hall. And then Snowdin as well. So I'm doing the ruins at the moment. I'm remaking the ruins, which is... Oh, there we go. That's what we were up to. I'm doing the ruins, and then I'm doing Waterfall after. And it's going to look so good. So high quality stuff, a lot of people on board doing voices for everybody. It's a really fun project. I absolutely love it. Let's do roughness. Okay, so let's do bump here. Bump goes into the normal. This is just me getting the water done. Bump goes into the normal. What a bump map essentially does is it catches height, and when light affects it, or when light hits something, it turns around and says, okay, it should be this high, or this is the details that should be shown off. It's pretty cool. They've been using it on, if you're familiar with older games like Doom 3 or stuff like that, or Halo 2, they use a lot of bump maps for those to show off all the details and the textures, or to make it look more 3D than it actually was. Musgrave texture, okay. Musgrave. Link this up to, I think it's the height value? Oh no, yeah, it's the height value. And then we go 5, 2, 2, 2, okay. Oh, by default it's set up like that, that's good. And then we do mapping node into that vector, so we go, mapping. Again, at this point I'm just messing around with shaders to get all this stuff working. Is there a delta on that at all? No, it isn't. The delta is on the material. Oh, actually, no, it might be on the settings. Delta is basically just how many times it ticks over, so it animates even when I'm not touching it, so it essentially animates itself. Texture coordinates. So that goes there. Texture generated into the coordinate there. Make sure that that's right. Yes, that is right. Via point. All those materials are on the settings are the same. The only difference is I think this has a screen space reflections, alpha blend, and alpha clip for shadows. Okay, so we go material, blend, and clip, and then screen space reflections. I think, yep. That should be the same. You can just do Control-T on Musgrave texture and then add texture mapping and coordinates if you enable Node Wrangler. I need to enable Node Wrangler. I've been doing everything the like really slow way because I'm still getting to grips with Blender. I've only been using it for like a year roughly, maybe a little bit more. I used to use 3D Studio Max beforehand, but I kind of ran out of the student license on it, and I didn't want to have to do the usual thing that everybody else does where they essentially just pirate it. So I was like, yeah, I can't be bothered doing that. I'll just get Blender. Save that for the moment, and then we go to... Wait a minute. That's... Make sure that is the right one, right? There we go. Subsurface. Let's see where we are here. Subsurface color. Blender is the best, essentially. Yeah, basically, it's free. It's nice. You don't have to pay like $3 grand a year for a student license or more. It's all good. And then we've got settings for water here that I need to figure out from the other. Where is it? Generate modifier. There it is. So if I do cap that, right. Depth. Make sure this is okay here. Depth 500. 1 resolution. I think that was set to 15. Yep. Size, random seed, I think was like 35. Yeah. Spatial size 50, 35. And then I don't think I messed around with the waves or the foam here. Oh no, wait. Maybe I did. Waves. Scale. Oh, crap. 0.1. Choppiness was 0.15. Wind velocity was 100. Alignment was fine. And that was it. So we should have the same effect. My cat is about to lose her brood privileges to Sammy. Can I just check what this looks like here? Over in the distance without... That looks fine. Right. Without ruining anything, because I don't want to show off anything before the next update. Let's see about that. Can I just wireframe that? Oh, wait a minute. I didn't set up the delta, so of course it's not going to animate. Oh, crap. Hang on. Gotta go, mate. Keep up the great job and stay determined. Thank you very much, Jacob. Thank you for sticking around and enjoying. Let's do... It was Ruins 1 in the other file. Ruins... What is it? Ruins Remade 1. Oh. Where's the water? There we go. And then... Playing at 60 FPS and... On the time it was frame... Okay. So for this now, to make it all just work, we just go... Evaluating. Let's try time, hashtag, frame. There we go. Now this all animates without me having to do anything. So as you can see, the water surface is slowly moving on its own here. So now that will just, because of that little bit of code that I included, as long as there's a timeline, it will animate. So now, should be able to just move this down. And away we go. I put that about there, roughly. Let's see how this works. So it's all just animating on its own. Just trying to see if it goes above a certain level, because if it does, then it might clip through the floor. Or I can easily just, like, scale that down. Hang on. If I scale that down to that room, then I don't have to worry too much. Try and change the resolution on that because it doesn't need to be 15 if I've done that. So I've seen if I can get away with 7. Or even 8. 8 might work. I might even change choppiness a little bit as well because of how it is. Let's try and change choppiness to 0.2. Or scale to 0.2. That looks a little bit better. The question is, does that raise out of the floor at all? I don't think it does, so that's good. I just hit save on that. Right, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to charge my microphone. If I'm going to go on VR, I'm going to need it. So, I shall see you guys the next time. I thank you very much for stopping by, and I shall see you on the next stream. I appreciate the company, and it's been fun talking to all of you again. Until next time, bye! Have a good one!